On a very busy day here at Martin Ice Arena and Maury Courts, it's time for the nightcap. Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint dueling it out in Division III action here at Martin Ice Arena. Hi again, everybody. Reagan Cleaves alongside Brody Finelli here this afternoon as Central Michigan and the Wolverines get set to take things to the ice for the second time this weekend. And before we get going, we'd like to apologize. We were fully planning on having video. We plugged it in, and it was all glitchy. You couldn't. It was glitching every half second. It did not look good. We felt that it would be rather unwatchable if it was all glitchy like that. So we are going audio only tonight. We apologize for that inconvenience, but you've at least got us. So turning our attention down to the ice, Brody, Central Michigan and the Wolverines battled it out last night. It was a tough, hard-fought game, and I think credit to Central Michigan. They played some really good defensive hockey last night.
Yeah, they did play some really good defensive hockey. They Michigan-Flint making that big push towards offense late in the game, but CMU stood their ground, and they were able to keep the score at what it was and come away with the shutout.
Yeah, for Central Michigan, that shutout going to Isaac Gleisner, and he played really well last night, stopping 29 of 29 Michigan-Flint shots in his first collegiate shutout, and that was all due in part to the defense in front of him. Later on in that game, Michigan-Flint outshot the Chippewas in the final two periods, 11-10 in the second and 10-8 in that third period. They ended up coming out with the shot disadvantage, did the Wolverines, but over the last couple of periods, they really applied that pressure. And the difference in that game, though, was CMU generating those opportunities and taking advantage of the ones that they could generate. They didn't get a lot of golden scoring opportunities, but credit to Jace Johnson, Connor Morgan. They got things started early for Central Michigan in that first period.
Yeah, getting two in the first is very big in any kind of game. Going out, getting them early, making sure you have the lead immediately so that when worse does come to worse and you got to play a very defensive game, you can hold on to the lead that you have, and that is exactly what CMU did last night.
Especially later on in the game when Michigan-Flint was pressuring as they did. And is in a night where Central Michigan blacked out the uniforms, they blanked the Wolverines, and they didn't allow them to score yesterday evening. Final score 3-0 yesterday. And credit to Andrew Siraki getting the third goal of the game for CMU, his first on the season, and the first in quite some time for the junior out of Northville. He gets his fourth point of the year. He's got 3 assists to go along with that goal last night. That win last night pushed CMU to 4-7 on the campaign, 8 points. But more importantly, they're top in the division right now, Brody.
Wow. After one game. Hey, how about it?
Indeed, and only 2 games going on last night in divisional play that counted toward those standings. But nonetheless, they are tied with Michigan atop the MCHC East. They're looking for their second last night was their second shutout victory, and they're looking for their first win at home since that Davenport series. And in reality, that Davenport series wasn't even close.
No, not at all. They outscored Davenport. What was it? I can't remember.
19-2.
Yeah, a lot is what I was going to say. But when it comes down to it, when you come up against some of the teams that are like mid standings, high standings in the MCHC. You just got to defend the house, and that's what they got to do against Michigan-Flint today.
Yeah, they've struggled to do it all season. Only 2 wins coming here at Martin Ice Arena. Granted, they've struggled to do it everywhere. 4-7 on the campaign. And they played very disciplined hockey last night, especially in the defensive zone, as we've already touched on. That's something that they hope to continue here tonight. Michigan-Flint, on the other hand, 7-8-0-1 on the campaign with 15 points. There's 16 games played, as we talked about last night, the most in Division III. They play a ton of games. They're going to play 37 games this season, Brody.
37. That's a lot of games. You got to imagine how that's going to, as the season wear on them. Yeah,
especially with such a young group of guys. 22 players on their roster, freshmen and sophomore. 2 seniors. One of them a graduate student. So, lots of youth on this Michigan-Flint hockey team, and it shows last night. They played a very fast, speedy game to go along with a little bit of physical play, which we saw Connor Morgan bring later on in that evening. But they've also played a lot of close games this season, kind of the opposite of Central Michigan. 15 of their 16 games have been decided by 3 or fewer. The lone game, the outlier, a 9-1 loss against Division II Schoolcraft. So they have kept everything close this season, just like they did last night.
Exactly, and when you get a team on the ice that likes to play close games, you really gotta lock it down. Make sure that you're not making too many mistakes, because if they can take those one score, 1 goal, 2 goal games away from you, and so CMU's got to watch out tonight against a team that plays it close.
Yeah, CMU hasn't had a ton of close games, but the ones they have had, they've been pretty much even on the season. Their win last night against Michigan-Flint pushed them to 15-4-1-0 all time against the Wolverines. Again, they're coming off of a split last season in which Michigan-Flint kept it close here at home at Martin Ice Arena, and they ended up winning it 2-1 in overtime. So that's a look at your two teams. We'll step aside, come back, take a look at the players on the ice down below us here tonight. Our Impact Players, Keys of the Game, coming up next on CCHN. Well, to talk about impact players from last night, it's hard to forget about Isaac Gleisner, who stopped 39 saves, all of them coming from Michigan-Flint and earning his first career shutout. But tonight we turn to a couple more impact players, Jace Johnson and Andrew Siraki, who the last couple of games have shown their worth. Jace Johnson, obviously the leading scorer for Central Michigan, now tied with Isaac Gibbs with 12 points on the campaign. His 10 goals also lead the team, but we saw him stymied a little bit again in that Calvin series. Didn't register a point, but he really started to get back into that groove and show his speed off last night.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take a look at a player that just spells impact, Jace Johnson is that one. With 10 goals in 11 games, I mean, he's putting them up. And he can really just kind of change the tide of a game when he's allowed to. Obviously, like you said, he wasn't too effective against Calvin. They were able to find a way to stymie him, but we'll see if UVM-Flint finds a way to stymie him today, or if he can use that speed that he has to put the Chippewas up again.
Yeah, when he gets on the board, good things happen for Central Michigan.
Yes, they do.
The leading scorer in the MHSAA his senior season tallied in that year alone. He tallied a grand total of 75 points. Just an incredible young player, incredible speed, and great talent on the ice for Central Michigan. On the other hand, a guy that doesn't necessarily show up on the score sheet, but at least over the last couple games has. He's registered all 5 points he's gotten on the campaign in the last 6 games. Andrew Siraki has played very well recently, not necessarily scoring, though he did pull off a dandy of a breakaway goal last night, but he's been so good getting the opportunities and generating those chances. He's also, over the last couple seasons, beefed up a little bit, and he's been able to bring that physicality a little bit more, which is needed on those third and fourth lines.
Yeah, that is exactly what a team needs. They need a guy that's able to just come out on the ice and play a physical game and just have a presence that can be felt by everyone on the ice, and that is what Andrew Siraki brings, and he's going to bring it tonight. He's going to bring that physicality again.
Yeah, and speaking of presence on the ice, a couple of players last night that were dashing all up and down the ice, all 200 feet from the maize and blue. Nick Temple and Austin Hinkson are impact players from Michigan State tonight. Temple third in scoring for the Wolverines, 14 games played, 8 goals, 12 points. Austin Hinkson, 16 games, 4 goals and 7 assists for 11 points. But Hinkson especially was really upping his game toward the latter half of that game yesterday. Very speedy, young, hard-working forward, unafraid to get into those gritty, dirty areas on the ice. Saw him wreak havoc in the Central Michigan defensive end yesterday, causing multiple turnovers, leading to some Michigan-Flint scoring chances. So hopefully Chippewas are able to hold him at bay like they did last night. Again, the 3-0 shutout was the final yesterday at Crystal Fieldhouse. Nick Temple, on the other hand, very stout at the blue line for the Wolverines. He's been great all season for them. Although he leads them, or he's third rather, in scoring all season with 12 points, he was doing a great job yesterday holding clearing attempts in at the Central Michigan end, starting those breakouts in his own end. So we'll see how the defensive side of things goes for Nick Temple here tonight. So those are your impact players: Jace Johnson, Andrew Siraki for the Central Michigan Chippewas, and for the Wolverines, they go with Nick Temple and Austin Hinkson. Time now to take a look at your keys to the game. First of all, be opportunistic. We saw last night, Brody, where CMU didn't generate a ton of chances, though they did end up getting 32 shots on goal, and not a ton of them were quality. They did, though, get 3 goals on really kind of out of the blue.
Yeah, and I mean, those are the kind of goals that kind of, like, you get them, but you don't necessarily feel like if you didn't have a grade A chance, you want to get more of those.
Yeah, indeed, and those goals, especially when they come out of the blue like that, are really boosts a team's confidence, especially early on when you're kind of hemmed in your own end. Neither team's really getting many opportunities, and it can be pretty deflating for any opposition if you get 2 quick goals like Central Michigan did last night in the span of 2 minutes from Jace Johnson and Connor Morgan. And they were able to carry that momentum throughout the rest of the game and hold on for that 3-0 victory. Second of all, break out cleanly. Central Michigan had trouble doing this last night. They would try to just chip it up the boards, and it will be held in fairly easily by the likes of Nick Temple, Nolan Palacio, Devin Gardner at the points. So this Michigan defensive core is very good, very stout. They've got a lot of experience back there, including their captain in Grayson Meisner. But you're gonna have to be able to get the puck up and out through the middle, because those points are going to be locked out, and you're going to have to skate it out rather than just chip it out. Finally, control the neutral zone. This game was a very back and forth yesterday. Not a lot of free play through the neutral zone. Michigan-Flint did a good job of breaking things up. But I think for Central Michigan tonight, if you want to continue the success of yesterday, you have to be able to break things up at the neutral zone, and you got to be able to control the middle 50 feet of the ice. So those are your keys to the game and your players to watch. We'll step aside, take a look at the MCHC standings fairly quickly, and then we'll take a look at the coaches show here on the pregame show presented by SeamishIceHockey.com. Welcome back, Radio Ringside, to Martin Ice Arena as we get you set for period number 1. The Chippewas and the Wolverines getting things underway in the MCHC East. And with that win last night, Central Michigan now tied for first in the division with 2 points through 1 game. They've got Michigan up with them as well. Not Michigan-Flint, but Michigan-Ann Arbor, as they knocked off Adrian yesterday 4-0 down at Arctic Edge of Canton. So the Wolverines and the Chippewas atop the MCHC East. Lawrence Tech, Oakland yet to play some division games yet this season, but overall they stand at pretty decent standings. Lawrence Tech 5th ranked in the country, Oakland 4th, and then Adrian and Michigan-Flint with the losses last night bring up the rear at the end of the division. But talk about a tough schedule to start, Brody. Central Michigan has already faced some pretty good teams. Number 2 Calvin, top 20 ranked Michigan State. They turn around later this month and open up the division play for not only number 5 Lawrence Tech, but also number 4 Oakland. How do you think that affects their mentality going into this next really tough month?
I mean, just goodness gracious, what a gauntlet to start the year. I think it can affect their mentality in one of two ways, I mean to say. Taking, admittedly, a lot of losses at the start of the year to some very good teams can do a number on your confidence going into, teams that, you should be beating, so to say. But on the other hand, it could come later in the season. The players' mentality could be the worst is over. And just getting past that tough gauntlet of games and just getting through there to the games that they know that they can really just kind of take away can bring some confidence to them on the other hand.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason that head coach Brendan Martin kind of has stacked this season toward the toward the first couple of games, playing a lot of tough opponents early. We already played number 2 Calvin. We're taking on Lawrence Tech and Oakland, as we already discussed, later on here this month. But part of the reasoning for that is get those tough games out of the way, get the guys into the groove of things early. But it can be difficult, as we've already seen this season. Central Michigan going 3-7 in their opening 10 games against some very tough opponents. Only other game in the MCHC East exclusively this weekend, as we already mentioned, Michigan and Adrian. They will wrap up their series at 7 p.m. tomorrow at Arrington Ice Center down on the south side of this state. Another top 5 heavyweight matchup in the ACHA. Again, the rankings newly released yesterday. Oakland knocking off Hope 4-3, and boy, they have to hold on to that. They were up 4-1 at one point in that game. 2 third-period power play goals for Hope drew them back into the thick of things, but Oakland taking revenge on their MCHC semifinal loss a year ago. They will travel now to Holland on the west side and take on the Dutchmen at 7:30 tonight. Again, Hope ranked number 1, Oakland number 4 on the season. That should be a fun one here to watch, and we'll keep an eye on it as we go on. Taking a look at the scratches tonight for both squads. Central Michigan, they scratched Jalen McCray, Andrew Porzondik, as well as Ryan Grollo. Grollo was the extra skater yesterday. Today it's Maddox Grimes who makes his return to the lineup for CMU. The goaltenders not dressing today, Nick Wilson and Caleb Woolery, as it was last night. Chippewas will turn to Lauren Jones in net for them here this afternoon. On the other side, Michigan-Flint, they'll scratch the same 3 they did yesterday. Gavin Rose, Wesley Jung, and Brandon Pollock. Again, 3 of their top 6 forwards out. That really played a key part last night, as the Wolverines weren't able to generate much offense. They'll be really looking forward to those 3 returning to the lineup here in the next couple of weeks. Starting netminder for Michigan-Flint is unknown right now, but we will get that to you after the coaches show. Just about 7 minutes till puck drop here. Earlier today, I sat down with head coach Brendan Martin, and we'll take a listen to that here after this break on CCHL. Welcome back to Martin Ice Arena ahead of period number 1 between Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint. Reagan Cleve sitting down here with head coach Brendan Martin. First of all, Brendan, how about those jerseys last night? Don't those look sick?
They do look good. It was they're very nice jerseys. I'm happy that they won in them, obviously. It's a good switch up for them. That's a logo that we had when I was a freshman and sophomore here. So it was cool to kind of see that brought back, and they did a great job on them. So I know I've been reached out to from a lot of guys that I played with, and they love them, and so they did a good job on them.
Yeah, indeed, they did a good job on them, and more importantly, you got the win last night, a 3-0 shutout victory. You had production from all 3 of your lines. You got a goal from Siraki, who hasn't scored all season. You got a goal from Morgan. You got a goal from Jace. Who do you expect to be the producers here tonight?
I would say I have really I think all my guys have the opportunity to produce, if I'm being honest. They're playing well together. They're sticking to the systems that the coaches and I have been really preaching them. And I think what it took was how they played against Calvin going back to last Saturday, and they saw that the intensity that they played with. I know you and I have talked about that before. That's what they need to bring every night to be able to go in there and win. And you look at Calvin, who just opened up at number 2 in the rankings. And so I think that was a huge confidence booster for them. So going into tonight, I think it could really be anyone. And it's that next man up mentality. So.
Yeah, you mentioned that series against Calvin and that game last night. Both those, the last 2 games you guys have played, have been really good defensive games. Yes, you allow 5 goals to Calvin, but throughout those first 2 periods, you guys played some of the best hockey I've seen you guys play all year. And then last night, you replicate that. Michigan-Flint really poured on the pressure late in that game, especially in that 3rd period, out shooting you guys. But what do you think has been the key to your guys' success defensively in the last couple of games?
They're definitely starting to buy in. You can see it from the bench and just on the ice as well. I mean, guys are buying into this team, and it's starting to kind of turn around for them. And so defense wins hockey games, and I think they realize that now. And so moving forward, you got to take care of your D zone first and foremost, and limit those really good scoring opportunities. I talked to Michael about it. Keeping everything to the outside, on the outside of the dots here, not allowing anything inside the house, as I call it. Limiting those really good scoring opportunities, you're gonna be able to get the puck out of the zone a lot better, and then that'll turn into offense.
Yeah, you mentioned guys buying into it. I think one of the guys that's, at least from what I've seen, buying into it the most is Isaac Leisner. Comes in yesterday, earns his first collegiate shutout. What have you liked out of him recently?
Yeah, you know what? He's had a pretty wild journey throughout the ACHA. He's played at every level, and he's played at 3 different schools now in 4 years or whatnot. So for him, I think he came in and he understood that he's going to have to compete for a starting job, and he goes out and he puts his head down and he goes to work every day, and he's a team player. So from a coach's aspect, I loved watching him get that shutout, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do moving forward.
Yeah, and speaking of goaltenders, final question here, Marty. You go with Lauren Jones tonight. He's got some history with Michigan-Flint. Had that first career shutout in his first career start 3 years ago in his freshman season with a 7-0 win over Michigan-Flint. You go with him tonight. What do you expect?
I expect him to dominate tonight. I do, and I think he knows that that's what we expect out of him as well. And play loose, have fun out there, and he's played in some really big games for us throughout his career here. So I don't think he'll be nervous. I don't think he'll have any of the butterflies going. But more importantly, we need to make sure that our guys are out there playing hard for him, just like they did Gleisner last night.
Yeah, indeed. Let's hope they play hard. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Coach Brennan Martin. We'll step aside, be right back with the play-by-play of period number 1, Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint, coming up on the other side of this break on CCHN. Welcome back to Martin Ice Arena ahead of period number 1 between Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint. Reagan Cleve sitting down here with head coach Brennan Martin. First of all, Brennan, how about those jerseys last night? Don't those look sick?
They do look good. It was they're very nice jerseys. I'm happy that they won in them. Obviously, it's a good switch up for them. That's the logo that we had when I was a freshman and sophomore here. So it was cool to kind of see that brought back, and they did a great job on them. So I know I've been reached out to from a lot of guys that I played with, and they love them, and so they did a good job on them.
Yeah, indeed, they did a good job on them. And more importantly, you got the win last night, a 3-0 shutout victory. You had production from all three of your lines. You got a goal from Siraki, who hasn't scored all season. You got a goal from Morgan. You got a goal from Jace. Who do you expect to be the producers here tonight?
I would say I have really. I think all my guys have the opportunity to produce, if I'm being honest. They're playing well together. They're sticking to the systems that the coaches and I have been really preaching them. And I think what it took was how they played against Calvin going back to last Saturday, and they saw that the intensity that they played with. I know you and I have talked about that before. That's what they need to bring every night to be able to go in there and win. And you look at Calvin, who just opened up at number 2 in the rankings. And so I think that was a huge confidence booster for them. So going into tonight, I think it could really be anyone. And it's that next man up mentality. So.
Yeah, you mentioned that series against Calvin in that game last night. Both those, the last 2 games you guys have played have been really good defensive games. Yes, you've
Wolverines
allowed
from right to left.
To Calvin, throughout those first
blue uniforms, maize and white trim, maize numerals, blue pants and blue socks. Puck drop at center. We are underway
late
here at Martin Ice Arena.
Especially in that third period, out shooting you guys own end. What do you think has been the key to your guys' success
center was picked off and hopped.
They're definitely starting to buy in. You can see it from the bench and just on the ice as well. I mean, guys are buying into this team, and it's starting to kind of turn around for them. And defense wins hockey games, and I think they realize that now. So moving forward, you got to take care of your D zone first and foremost, and limit those really good scoring opportunities. I talked to Michael about it, keeping everything to the outside, on the outside of the dots here, not allowing anything inside the house, as I call it. Limiting those really good scoring opportunities. You're going to be able to get the puck out of the zone a lot better, and then that'll turn into offense.
Yeah, you mentioned guys buying into it. I think one of the guys that's,
tumble into the
at
boards,
least from what I've seen, buying into it the most is Isaac Weissner. He comes in yesterday, earns his first collegiate shutout. What have you liked out of him?
Able to poke it into the
yeah, you know what?
He's
had a pretty wild journey throughout the ACHA. He's played at every level, and he's played at 3 different schools now in 4 years or whatnot. So for him, I think he came in and he understood that he's going to have to compete for a starting job, and he goes out and he puts his head down and he goes to work every day, and he's a team player. So from a coach's aspect, I loved watching him get that shutout. I'm excited to see what he's going to do moving forward.
Yeah, and speaking of goaltenders, final question here, Marty. You go with Lauren Jones tonight. He's got some history with Michigan-Flint. Had that first career shutout in his first career start 3 years ago in his freshman season with a 7-0 win over Michigan-Flint.
Slow moving
tonight. What do you expect?
I expect him to dominate tonight. I do, and I think he knows that's what we expect out of him as well. And play loose, have fun out there, and he's played in some really big games for us throughout his career here. So I don't think he'll be nervous. I don't think he'll have any of the butterflies going. But more importantly, we need to make sure that our guys are out there playing hard for him, just like they did last night.
Indeed, let's hope they play hard. Good luck tonight, Coach. Appreciate it. Thank you. Coach Brennan Martin will step aside. Be right back with play-by-play of period number 1. Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint coming up on the other side of this break on CCHN.
The second line out here for CMU with Kuhn. Poked free from Morgan in the corner. He couldn't get to it, and away comes Temple. He's got speed up the left wing. The 6'3" defenseman around the outside. Tried to center it out in front. It went off the skate of Chris Martin, and it's moved up the right wing here by CMU.
Temple, a defenseman, looking like a forward there.
Need of defense. Listed as a defenseman, but certainly very offensive-minded. Third on the team in scoring with 12 points this season. Play back down on the Central Michigan end, and Palacio decked Miller right at the Chippewa blue line. Puck comes free to the Wolverines across the way. Will be dumped in here by Rose. Worked around behind the net. Miller chipped it out to center down the ice. Icing waved off here. Carpenter back in his own end to play it.
will be rubbed off the puck and send it down the ice. Martin back there to play it for CMU near corner. Chipped it around to the far side where Bishop will play it out. Cut down at the line, though, by Steiger. He pushes it deep. Hutton to play it for CMU in the far corner. It's worked up the wing. Clearing attempt by Armin Trout. Knocked down. A shot from the point, courtesy of Miser, and blockered away by Lauren Jones. And it'll be once again back down in the far corner. Both teams battling away for it here. We're 3.5 minutes into this opening period. Reagan Cleaves, Brody Finelli on the call for you here from Martin. Game 2 of 2 on the weekend. Campbell dangling into the offensive end, got knocked off the puck, and it'll be chipped back out to center where Nathan Bottles will fire it around. Panaccio wearing those bright, almost neon yellow pads in net to our right, able to play it to the side of the net before it's worked over behind the goal. Clearing attempt popped up to the corner, or popped up to the line. Clements kept it alive. He keeps it in again. Campbell picks up the loose change. Clements, after taking a hit, recovers, has the puck up to the right point. He'll flip it down the wall. Bottles now battles in the corner for it. He's able to pull it free, work up the wall, spin around shot deflected in front by Hop just wide. Campbell back on it, away to Hop. His shots sailed wide. Clements at the right half wall, pushed it down into the corner where it's controlled by the Wolverines, though. Good forecheck. Campbell forced a turnover. Hop on a backhand shot. That was blocked, and it's cleared out to center by the Maize and Blue. Now Clements in over the line. He's going to be offside. Hop just a little bit ahead of the play. And we'll have a stoppage of play with 15:26 to go here in this opening period. Play back down in the Wolverine end as we get things back underway. 15:09 to go in the opening period. This is lifted down the ice. It will be icing against the Wolverines as Lauren Jones puts the hand up, and so do the linesmen. Now, a very quick back and forth start here, Brody, in this game. Both teams getting, again, some offensive zone time, but really not a ton of good opportunities for Michigan-Flint. CMU's really had the bulk of the opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of bouncing pucks for U of M Flint, kind of down near the zone and, down near the net, I mean to say.
Speaking of which, a good opportunity there for Jace Johnson. He put it wide, and now Hop controls in the near side corner. He sends it up to the point, but it was just too far for Sam Kamara, and he'll go racing back into his own end to play it. 5:15 to go. Pardon me, 5:15 gone here in this opening period. It's played up the left wing and out of play. Will change. Both teams allowed to change their lines. 14:35 to go in the first period. And it's little mistakes like that, Brody, that kind of hurt Central Michigan last night. They really couldn't break out very cleanly of their own end, and a lot of face-offs in the defensive end, like this one here. Look out, this will fly up over top of the netting right in front of the broadcast booth and come down harmlessly onto the rubber matting down below us. But again, a slow start once again. CMU, though, definitely generating the bulk of the opportunities early here through this opening 5 minutes. Draw just outside the Chippewa line near side, won by CMU. Martin fed it across to Hutton. He'll try to start the breakout, left it off for Martin. Full steam up the left wing, lead pass to Kuhn. He's across that line, dancing into the circle. A shot saved by Panaccio, and he holds on with a couple more seconds ticking off the clock. 14:14 to go.
More good chances for CMU.
Indeed, CMU getting another good chance there. Panaccio certainly has faced the bulk of the shots out of the two netminders, as was the case back in Lauren Jones's first collegiate start. Earned a 7-0 shutout at Crystal Fieldhouse 3 years ago. It was the second half of a sweep for the Chippewas over the Wolverines. Puck tied up behind the Wolverine net to our right. It's worked up to the point. Martin, a hammer shot deflected in front, and it's gobbled up
there by Panaccio. Scary opportunity there for CMU. Nick Kuhn right on the doorstep with the deflection.
One of these is just bound to go in. If you keep getting opportunities like this, they're going to start going in the net for CMU.
Indeed, we saw that last night. CMU very opportunistic. Only getting a couple of opportunities in that opening period, but they made the most of it. Johnson and Morgan both scoring in that first period on very similar shots from the left wing circle. And a puck at the neutral zone deflects up into the CMU bench. We'll have a stoppage of play with 13:37 to go. Fourth line out here for CMU. For the Wolverines, they counter with the third line of Riley Melody, Mason Wisniewski, and Blake Berger. CMU has Miller, Julian Johnson, and Chris Armentrout. Speaking of Armentrout, lead pass ahead from Martin to him is just too far, and he'll go for icing. As Miller unable to beat the Wolverine captain, Grayson Meisner, to the puck. 13:23 to go here in the first. Face off to the left of Lauren Jones, clad in those black pants tonight, as the Chippewas were hoping to go with the all-black look they sported last night, but when they came out to warm-ups, they were wearing black pants, black socks, but figured the color combination of maize and black. Look out, a turnover in the right circle, is shot. That's saved by Jones. Right on the doorstep there was Riley Melody in the circle. He couldn't put it home, but the black and blue combination would have been a little bit harder to distinguish, not only for the players but also for us. So I'm glad they made the change.
I kind of wanted to see the black uniforms, though. I heard good things about it.
I don't blame you. Good things indeed, as icing is called here against Michigan-Flint with 12:49 to go in the opening period. Certainly good things about those uniforms, all black. If you didn't see either the press release or all the social media fanfare that's been going on about it, but those black jerseys look very, very slick, and they powered CMU to a win yesterday. Draw to the left of Panaccio, won by Michigan-Flint. That's another thing that Central Michigan struggled with yesterday, was winning those faceoffs. And their woes continue throughout the first 8 minutes of this hockey game. Through center, knocked off the puck. Here was the Wolverines' Potter, and now a loose puck out in front of Panaccio. They jam away at it. Campbell couldn't get it to go, and it'll eventually pop free into the corner. Boy, a big scramble in front of Panaccio there. Great opportunity for CMU. They can't get anything to go, though.
Yeah, I mean, that puck is just seconds away from being banged into the net, just right out front by anybody out there. Those Chippewas got to be opportunistic, as we were talking about, to try to get those pucks in the net.
Indeed, they get pucks to the net, create a little havoc, but fortunately can't put anything in thus far. We're still scoreless. 7:45 into this game on a beautiful fall evening here at Martin Ice Arena. Now, Jake Bishop at center will send this around in. We apologize for the mic cutting out. The batteries decided not to last us through the first 10 minutes of this game. So we are up in a separated area at Martin Ice Arena, hence the limited sound right now as our mic cut out. Now Central Michigan will send this in from center. Sam Camara puts this around behind. Isaac Hopp will feed it out in front. Jace Johnson spinning around, lost the puck. He'll pursue it into the corner. Battling for it there, coughed it up to Zach Potter, who moves up the right wing. Sent it out to center, where it's slapped back in by Josh Gilgren. CMU offsides, though, so Michigan-Flint will motor up ice. Carpenter wheeling through center, lets a shot go on Lauren Jones, and it's deflected up and out of play with 11:06 to go here in this first period. Draw will be to the right of the Central Michigan netminder. The Fenton native will turn to his right and watch his Chippewas lose another faceoff. A shot from the left point was deflected on goal, and it's held there by Lauren Jones. for another whistle with 11:03 to go. And Central Michigan generating the bulk of the opportunities here early in this game, but Michigan-Flint going right back to where they did yesterday, owning the face-off circles. They win another face-off, but quickly turn it over, and here comes Nick Kuhn up the right wing. He cuts across the line, dangles, and tries to split the defense. He does, but lost the puck in the process. He pursues it down into the corner. Siraki pulls it free. Centering feed, trying to find Connor Morgan. They couldn't connect. Morgan on the loose puck, though, on the near side. Coughed it up to Potter. Potter poked it ahead to Gore at the point, where the captain for Michigan-Flint will lift it out to center. Back at the central line, Gore picked up a loose puck on an errant pass. He'll fall down in the corner, lose control of the puck, and now the Chippewas will send a pass up the right wing. Nick Kuhn motoring into the offensive zone, tried to feed that out in front from the right wing corner. It was cut off by Meisner, and it's sent ahead by CMU, and now Hutton's going to go off here for an elbow. He took a run at Hinkson across the way in a little bit of a battle. He's a little frustrated, but elbowing is the call. And so at 9:54, Chippewas will go on the penalty kill for the first time since midway through the game yesterday. And we're working on restoring ice sound here as Brody Finelli has gone away. He's working downstairs trying to get the batteries back into those wireless mics. Here's an opportunity for Michigan-Flint off the face-off. A shot from the left side was knocked away. Sent down the ice. Netminder out of his way to play it, and Panaccio will move it up the right wing side. He turned it over. Chippewas able to get it to the line, but not out. Battle for it on the near side. Berger couldn't keep it in, and Michigan-Flint will have it across the way. They'll play it back to the near side across that line. Working down the left wing. Berger back up the left point. Fires it across with a minute 19 to go on the power play. Here's a shot from the right circle that's deflected up and out of play with 9:22 to go in this opening period. Playback underway here as Michigan-Flint lets a shot go from the high slot. That was blocked in front before it could get to Jones. It's worked back up to the right point. Kept alive here by Boxa. Works it down the wall. Here for Gower. Back up for Boxa. Oh, work at the line. Pressured by Isaac Gibbs. Drops it off to the right point. Here's Steiger. Steiger down to Gower. Back up. Here's Boxa. Wanted to shoot. Lost the puck. Oh, put it down the wall to Carpenter now. Steiger back up the point. Down to Carpenter left wall. Down here for Gore. Back to Carpenter. He'll let a shot go off the mask of Jones. It's loose in the near side and picked up by Carpenter. Wolverines buzzing here on the power play with 23 seconds left. A shot from the right point was deflected in front of Jones, and Chippewas are able to get to the rebound and clear it down the ice. Panaccio out of his net to play it, and he'll feed it up the left wing near side with 11 to go on the power play. Knocked down here was Berger, and the Chippewas are able to send it the length of the ice. That'll kill off the rest of this penalty kill, as CMU is now 1 for 1. Hopping out of the box is Lucas Hutton. We're back to 5-on-5. A centering feed through the neutral zone was picked off, and here's Hinkson over the line left side for the Wolverines. Cutting into the circle, backdoor feed. Jones was able to make the save. Rebound is loose out in front, and it's cleared back behind the goal into the corner. Clements took a punishing hit in the corner by Bryce Moe, and now Hinkson causes a turnover. His shot from the top of the left circle was blocked away by Jones. Rebound cleared to the line, but not out. Michigan-Flint controlling the play as of late. Here's a shot from the top of the left circle by Bryce Moe, held on to by Lauren Jones as he gives his team a breather, and a much-needed one at that, since that penalty call on Lucas Hutton in 9:54. It had been all Michigan-Flint. They just controlling and basically not letting Central Michigan get anything going outside of a failed breakout to the point. Another face-off win from Michigan-Flint. A shot from the right wing side was knocked down by Lauren Jones. Back behind the net, a shot from a sharp angle there by Berger was denied. Wolverines trying to break the ice first here in this second game of the weekend. They try to keep it alive at the point. It'll deflect up and out of play. 7:10 to go here in this first period. And there we go. We do have ice noise back, thanks to Brody going down and fixing that. He'll join us back up in the booth. Just a two-man crew here today. And we were attempting to have video feed for y'all this afternoon, but our equipment decided otherwise. Meanwhile, Michigan-Flint now finally forced back out to the neutral zone by the Chippewas. It'll be sent in nonetheless once again, and CMU will finally get out to center ice where they another pass that's intercepted. The Wolverines have just controlled the opening 14 minutes of this game. Really continuing what was the trend toward the latter half of that game yesterday. Meanwhile, Central Michigan in on the rush. Bishop ahead to Campbell. Dropped it off for Bishop again in the bottom of the left circle. Ripped it high. Now on the near side. Bishop battling for it there. It's pulled free by the Wolverines. Across the way in the half wall. It'll be sent out to center by Nolan Placio, where it'll be corralled by Central Michigan. Campbell on the near side tried to dump it in, fanned on it though, and the puck will bounce back into the Michigan-Flint end. Pass up the right wing through center, deflected multiple times. Chippewas control defensively now, zone to our left. They're wearing those white home uniforms with maroon and gold trim. Now Jace Johnson picks up a loose puck at center, dangling into the zone. A shot, sent it just wide. It was awfully soft. Panaccio, though, off his angle. That could have gotten through. Battle for it along the half wall. Pokes free to Johnson. He's got it in the corner. Centering feed. Caught Isaac Hoppy. Kicked it off his skate to work it over to Camara. He sends it deep from the left point. Now a centering feed from the left corner. Couldn't find anybody. Gilgren, his shot was blocked. And out come the Wolverines. Carpenter in a 3-on-2. Ahead on the right wing to Hinkson. Too far for him. And it'll come back out to center as the Chippewas regroup. Here's Gore trying to cut across this neutral zone. Bumped off the puck. Will play it back defensively. Head on left wing. Intercepted by Josh Gilgren. We've got 15 minutes gone in this first period. Scoreless tie for Martin. Here's Jace Johnson across the line. Fires it wide. Gibbs controls left half wall. Out of a scrum. Johnson played it to Gibbs. Back up to the left point for Maddox. Grimes' shot, and Panaccio saw that clearly. As we welcome back into the booth, Brody Finelli. Brody, thanks for making that run down to the ice to get us fresh batteries. It was certainly a little bit more of a dull experience up here without it.
Well, yeah, you know.
That's what we pay him for. Draw to the right, I hear of Panaccio. I say that and none of us get paid.
I wish.
We'll raise it 200-fold for you, Brody. Shot from the right side, goes high of goal. And Miller floats it down behind the net. Johnson in pursuit. That's Julian. Dropped it off for Miller, but he's rubbed off the puck by Meisner. The Wolverine captain will try to start things out on right wing. He gets it ahead here to Hayden Rose. Across that line here with Steiger. He works it on goal, saved and turned aside by Johnson with 4:14 to go in the opening period. Loose puck in the corner. Johnson pulled it free, shoveled it to the near side. It'll be battled for along this wall by two players aside. It's worked back out to center where the Wolverines will dump it in. Under 4 minutes to play here in this first period. Stay with us for the first intermission report. Brody Finelli and I will have the recap of this opening period, one that's been dominated by Michigan-Flint. Look out, Nick Temple with speed, beats his man to the puck, works in, saved by Jones. Boy, a shot from a tight angle. Jones able to make that save, and Temple really put on the Jets to get to that loose puck first. Now Connor Morgan up the right wing for the Chippewas. Dancing down into the corner, centered it out in front. Panaccio made the save. Rebound is loose in the slot. It's cleared to the far side where it's still stuck up before it comes onto the stick of Juan Baxa. The Buffalo, Minnesota native will move it through center, and we're going to have a penalty called here on Connor Morgan. He took down Boxa at center. Morgan's going to go off, and the Chippewas are going to go back onto the penalty kill here with 3:14 to go.
Trying to wait for the referee's signal to see what...
His interference.
Oh, yeah. So U of M Flint starting to get a few chances now, and now they'll have a power play to get themselves even more chances. CMU's going to have to lock it down here at the closing minutes of the first period.
And it's a big penalty kill here. Michigan-Flint really started to gain some momentum off of that initial penalty to Hutton back at the 9:54 mark halfway through this period, and now they're right back onto the power play. Steiger up at the point, played it down the wall, but the bump man in Boxa couldn't control it and sent down the ice by CMU, and that'll kill off the first 15 seconds of this power play for U of M Flint. They're 0 for 1 on the day, and now Michigan-Flint's going to get a penalty. To the box goes Nolan Placio, took down Nathan Bottles at center. It's going to be a cross-check, so we'll go to 4-on-4. A lucky turn of events for CMU.
Yeah, right back at you to U of M Flint taking a penalty on themselves that obviously mitigates their power play. We'll go 4-on-4 and see if CMU can't reestablish some momentum in this game.
So the box is Placio. We're 4-on-4. Draw to the right of Panaccio, and the Michigan end to our right. It'll be controlled by the Wolverines. Temple up on right wing. Lots of open ice for this speedy Michigan-Flint squad. Central Michigan has struggled in 4-on-4s this year. Temple works free. Shot saved by Jones. They couldn't clear it out, though. Hinkson kept it alive. Potter steps in the right circle. A shot. That was saved by Jones, and the rebound swept away by his defenseman Lucas Hutton. Hutton will wheel in his own end with 1:11 to go on the 4-on-4, and Connor Morgan will be liberated from the box, and the Chippewas will have their first power play of the night, barring any other penalties. Here's Bishop in the offensive end, up to the point for Gilgren. Tried to find Bishop again for the deflection, but couldn't connect. Now working up the left wing. Here's Meisner. He's across the line, dangling in, shot blocked by Gilgren. Rebound, Jones couldn't find it. It's loose behind him, it's underneath his pad, and it's held on to. Boy, a lucky break there for CMU.
That's just got to be like right on the goal line or near enough to it to give everybody on the Chippewas a heart attack. That was quite a nifty move to get in there.
It was definitely a nifty move. Down the left side. And Jones made the initial save, but the rebound popped out right into the bottom of the left circle, where there's another opportunity for Meisner. He tried to bank it off the netminder, it in, almost worked. It's been all Michigan-Flint through the first 18 minutes of this game. 1:46 to go here in the period. Chippewas able to clear it out. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Campbell through center, poked the puck ahead, coughed it up, and it's intercepted here by Carpenter. Played it to the near side. Temple entered the zone too fast. He gets it back, though, onside. Dropped it back for Gore. His shot in the slot was blocked. Jace Johnson trying to fish it free in the far corner. 9 seconds to go. Here in the 4-on-4. Out of the box hops Morgan. Chippewas have an abbreviated 18-second power play. Jace Johnson looking to go to work. Had a power play goal last night. He wanders the circumference of the zone to the near side. Maddox Grimes walking down in, sends it out in front. Campbell couldn't get to it. It was chopped away by Temple. It'll go down the ice with under a minute to play in the period. Out of the box, here comes Placio. CMU's 0 for 1 on their 22nd power play. Here's Jace Johnson over the line. Snapped his shot just wide. Frustrated, though, as he wheels back. He'll go off for a line change. Here with 39 seconds to go. Rather, he'll stay on the ice. He was wandering toward the bench. Thought he was going off, but he stays on. Leads the rush. Ahead to Siraki. Steps in. Bottom of the right circle. Out in front. Couldn't connect with Connor Morgan. A beautiful chance for the maroon and gold. Played along the far side and behind the net. To the near side. Placio moves it out on left wing. Berger. His pass across. Cut off by Siraki. Maddox Grimes will play it defensively. His pass through neutral ice, knocked down. Siraki pulls it free. 10 seconds to go in the period. Steps over the line. His shot sails wide. And here's Hinkson
trying to work things out. Stripped the puck by Morgan. He's got 5 seconds, steps into the right circle, lets a shot go over top the goal, and that'll do it here in the opening period. An eventful one, but if you're a Chippewa fan, not eventful in the right light. All Michigan-Flint, 2 power plays in that period, and they made the most of them, though they couldn't convert. We're scoreless at the end of 20 minutes. Stand by. We'll be back with the first intermission report. Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint deadlocked as we started here on CCHN. Back here for the first intermission report. Reagan Cleaves, Brody Finelli here ringside at Martin Ice Center. We're scoreless after one, and what seemed like a decent start for Central Michigan. They generated a couple of chances early, really kind of turned into a Michigan-dominant second half of that period.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the play happening in CMU's zone, and another thing I kind of tended to notice is that U of M Flint was putting on a lot of pressure in the Chippewas zone, and the Chippewas responded by kind of just making a few puck handling mistakes. I kind of noticed as the period wore on. Flint started getting a lot more chances on the CMU net because of pucks that were just kind of bouncing around, not necessarily on anybody's stick, until it got to a Flint player.
Yeah, indeed, that's something that Central Michigan struggled with yesterday, Brody. CMU struggled yesterday, unable to settle pucks down in their own end, unable to break out cleanly, and it led not necessarily to penalties. There wasn't a lot of penalties last night, but it led to a lot of time in the defensive end for CMU throughout the game, and even though Gleisner was able to stand tall yesterday, it's been a much tougher task for Jones early on here in this one. He's already faced 15 shots as the Chippewas are getting outshot 15-7
through 20 minutes. And really, I think the turning point in that first period was about halfway through when Lucas Hutton went off for an elbowing call. It looked like it was a hit just at neutral ice, but indeed the referee saw him get a little bit of a chicken wing up there. So they called the elbow on Lucas Hutton, and from there, Michigan-Flint dominated the last half of that period and really didn't allow Central Michigan to get anything started defensively. The best they could do was just chip it out and prepare defensively for some more Wolverine attack. We're scoreless at the end of one period of play. We'll step aside, come back with the out-of-town scoreboard. Brody Finelli will have that for you on the other side of this break. You're listening to CMU D3 Hockey on CCHN.
Welcome back to the first intermission report on CCHN. I'm Brody Finelli, here to deliver you the Chippewa scoreboard. Our other hockey teams, men's 2, took on Western Michigan last night and took a 4-3 loss. Tonight they will be down at Lawson Ice Arena in Kalamazoo to take on Western again at 8:15 p.m. The women's D2 team played Aurora today. They tied the game 2-2. And they played Aurora last night as well, winning 3-0. Other sports, soccer took on Buffalo Thursday, and that came out to a 0-0 draw. Must have been a long day to be playing some soccer. Field hockey went to Ohio, where they lost 3-2 on Friday. They will take on Ohio State Sunday at 1 p.m. In volleyball, they also played Ohio. But we're on the opposite side of the score sheet. They took a 3-2 win Friday, and they will be playing Ohio today at 4, actually. They played the game. We do not have a score for you at the moment. CMU Cross Country travels to Muncie, Indiana for the MAC Championships. And the basketball season has started once again. It feels like it comes earlier every year. Men's basketball will be taking on South Alabama way down south at 8 p.m. on Monday. And the women's basketball team will be here in McGurk Arena taking on Coastal Carolina at 6:30 p.m. on Monday. Our football team, after a disheartening loss to Miami of Ohio last Saturday, will be taking on Bowling Green Tuesday at 7:30 right here in Kelly, well, not right here, so to say, but here in Mount Pleasant at Kelly Shorts Stadium. That'll do it for your Chippewas scoreboard and the first intermission report. We'll be back with second period action here on CCHN.
Back inside Martin Ice Arena for the play-by-play of period number 2. Central Michigan and Michigan-Flint tied
as we started scoreless, even though Michigan-Flint almost utterly dominated that entire first period, really stemming from that penalty to Lucas Hutton about halfway through. Reagan Cleaves inside the broadcast booth, joined by Brody Finelli. And Brody, it was a dominant first period for Michigan-Flint. What does CMU need to do to turn things around here in the final 40 minutes?
Just control the puck. I saw a lot of times when they were in their own zone defending, they just made a couple of misplays with the puck that gave U of M Flint the opportunity to put shots on net. So I think just being cleaner with their play and just trying to get out of their own zone will just do wonders in this second period.
And indeed, we saw Central Michigan struggle with getting the puck out of their own zone yesterday, especially through the last 40 minutes. It's continued here through the first 20 minutes. Speaking of the next 20 minutes, we're set to go. Central Michigan right to left, white home uniforms with maroon and gold trim. Michigan-Flint left to right. In those blue road uniforms with maize and white trim. Puck drop at center. We're underway in period 2. Play up the near wing, cut down at center. Gore trying to work through the defense, and it's sent down the ice. Clements will have to race after it there with Zach Potter. It's pulled free by Clements. He'll play it up the wing, kept in at the point though by Carpenter. He plays it down around the boards across the way. It'll be played by Potter, but he couldn't get it out. Now look out, a breakaway here for Jace Johnson. All alone on the netminder, working into the backhand, denied by Panaccio, and the net comes off its moorings. Boy, one of the best opportunities we've seen all night for Central Michigan. It comes on a breakaway for their leading scorer, Jace Johnson. He's unable to capitalize.
And what a nice pass by Isaac Hopp to start that breakaway, just kind of sneaking it right by the U of M Flint player to get Jace Johnson on his way, but just unfortunately nothing came of it.
And talk about a great pass from Isaac Hopp, and even better save by Panaccio. Able to stick out that right pad and deny the Chippewas of the first lead of the game. Now Jace Johnson trying to pull it free in the bottom of the left circle, gloved out of the air by Hinkson as it popped up, and they'll lead the rush 2-on-2 with Potter. In the left circle, cuts in, shot saved by Jones. That one off the outside of the blocker. Potter controls in the corner now. He'll play it up to the near side. Carpenter will step in with a shot blocked off of Sam Camara and up and out of play with 18:52 to go in period 2. You'd like to hope that was a turning point for CMU with that breakaway, but almost as soon as that happens, Michigan-Flint wins another defensive zone faceoff. Now look out, a loose puck out in front of Jones off the faceoff, sent just wide by a Wolverine in front. This will go down the ice. Look at Kuhn beating out this icing play. He's down behind the net, works the puck free, trying to work up the far boards, but he coughs it up, and it's sent back out to center where Sam Camara will control. Poked back to the line, look out, a pass ahead, fanned on there by Boxa, and we'll put it down deep into the Chippewa zone. Look out, they give it away. Temple with the shot and a save by Jones. Now Kuhn comes up ahead, a 2-on-1. His pass too far for Siraki. He'll chase it down into the corner. Centering feed gets back up to the point for Camara. He'll play it down the wall. Siraki centering it out in front. Knocked away from him, and Temple will play it to the boards. He coughed it up. Siraki gets it. Long shot. Panaccio looks at his glove, thinks he's got a hole in it because it went right through him. It's played down behind the net. Nick Kuhn lost the puck. It's rimmed up the boards. Martin on the backhand keeps it in. He plays it down low. Wolverines wanting a penalty. Aren't going to get one. Here's, look out, Hutton stole a pass. Works in and he scores! Lucas Hutton has his first in the ACHA, and it's 1-0 CMU.
A nice way to get that first goal for Lucas Hutton. The first goal of the game, the first goal of his career. He puts the Chippewas up, and they've got to be feeling good now. Maybe that was a turning point with the Jace Johnson play. The Chippewas are looking like they're playing with a lot more energy now.
It's a fantastic turnover generated by Hutton. He works the puck free on the far side, steps into the right wing circle, and rips it past Panaccio. And at 2:23, Central Michigan has the lead here at Martin after being dominated throughout the opening frame. Now look out, another opportunity. Back in with a backhand. Chris Martin put it right into the glove of Panaccio. Another opportunity for CMU, and they can't come up with it, but at least at the moment it doesn't matter. They've got the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, all that matters at the end of the day is how many goals you got up on that scoreboard.
That matter. It also matters how much the other team has, and right now Lauren Jones has played well. Made 15 saves in that opening frame, and honestly is the reason that Central Michigan is up ahead in this game. Now the Chippewas trying to break out. Again, they can't settle that puck down in their own end, and it results in a lot of Michigan zone time. Now Hutton back in the defensive end, roughed off the puck there by Berger. Across the way, Berger caught up with the referee, gets it in the left wing corner, centering it out in front through a sea of bodies, and it comes near side to Bottles, so he'll send it the length of the ice, and icing will be the call against the maroon and gold. Faceoff will come all the way down back to the Central Michigan end. 16:37 to go in this first period. 1-0 Central Michigan leads off of Lucas Hutton's first of his career. Had now points in 5 of the last 6 games. Up until this point, he hadn't registered a goal in his career, and it comes off a beautiful top corner snipe to give the Chippewas the 1-0 lead here in the second period. The Chippewas are pressuring once again down in the zone 2R left. It's tied up. Blevins battling with Bottles. It's eventually poked free. Chippewas get it up to the point. Kept in by Maddox Grimes. Plays it down the half wall. And Bishop battles for it. They jam away at it. Comes out, look out. Bishop got it free to Bottles in the left wing circle. And he snapped it over top the goal. A good save there by Panaccio to get a blocker on it with 4 minutes gone here in the second period.
I can tell CMU is really just trying to ramp up the pressure on Flint here, just trying to go punch for punch with them.
So far it's worked. On the face-off win for CMU, Campbell got it over to the point, was snapped wide by Clements. Battle for it, comes up to the point for Maddox Grimes. Left wing side, will rim it around the boards. Campbell behind the net, tried to set it out in front. It's loose, controlled by Bottles. Got it free to Campbell. In front, it was tapped just wide, and now Hinkson will move up for Michigan-Flint. Winding his way through the zone, a shot from the point was blocked. It's gotten across the way. Clements pressed his man into the boards, and the centering feed sent down the ice, and it'll be back into the Michigan-Flint end. 4.5 gone. Period 2. Reagan Cleaves and Brody Finelli with you here from Martin Ice Arena. Maddox Grimes trying to move that puck ahead for Central Michigan. It's played back across the way and out here for Jace Johnson. Johnson's been very good for CMU, but he coughs up this puck. Now Hinkson moves in. Stripped of the puck by Maddox Grimes, and it'll go behind the net, where Clements will control. We'll play it back along the near side. Over 5 minutes gone in the second period. CMU, despite being outshot 15-7 in that first period, has the 1-0 lead. Now a centering feed from the side of the net, knocked away. Steiger kept it alive. He forces it down low, and Placio has that ramp up off of him and out of play with 14:39 to go in the second period. And really, again, Brody, we talked about Central Michigan needing to take opportunities. They take the opportunities they've got and make good of them, and they did in that. Did there with Lucas Hutton. Another good shot that beats Michigan-Flint netminder up high. Now look out, Connor Morgan the other way for CMU, cutting across this line left side, pulls up a shot, slapped off the end boards, and now Siraki centering it out in front. Morgan couldn't handle it. It's back at the line. Camara will play it off the far half boards, and it'll work behind the net. Siraki with a big hit down behind the net. He sits down Meisner, but Michigan-Flint is back the other way. Across the line, stepping into the shot, saved by Jones, denying Bryce Moe of what would have been his third of the campaign, but again, Andrew Siraki laying the body down behind the Michigan-Flint end, bringing the physicality that Central Michigan needs.
Yeah, look at that. That's why he was one of our impact players. That's what he's bringing to the ice.
Draw will be to the right here of Lauren Jones. It'll be Temple to dig in. For the Wolverines, he loses it though, and Central Michigan will motor up ice. This will go for icing here with 13:58 to go in this second period.
And that was Nick Kuhn going down towards the other end again, trying to beat the icing. He beat the icing before, and he's really had quite a hustle here in the second period. He's been playing fast, trying to get deep in the U of M zone.
Here to the right of Lauren Jones, won by Central Michigan, and it'll be rimmed around to the near side. Camara, though, coughed it up behind the net. A centering feed for Temple. He couldn't connect, and it'll be sent down the length of the ice. Central Michigan, though, will not have icing called on them. Siraki gets taken down in the corner. And away comes Temple across that line, right wing, dangles to the outside. Trying to get the angle, sent it out in front, couldn't connect with Boxa. Kept in at the line, though. Shot sailed over the top of the goal, bounced off the back of the net, and it's free in the slot where it'll be scooped up here by Connor Morgan. He moseys up ice over the line, lost it top of the left circle, and it'll be back into the Central Michigan end. Boxa holds on the half wall, tried to send it out in front. Mo lost it. Here's the shot, saved by Jones. Rebound is cleared away from him as he tried to cover. Now look out, Miller took a spill in the corner, lost the puck, and it'll be controlled by the Wolverines. A wraparound stuff attempt there by Mo wouldn't go. And now Placio sends it around to the near side corner. Central Michigan able to get it to the line. Kuhn poked it ahead for Miller. Miller across that line left side, steps into the shot. It lofts on goal. And Panaccio will hold with 12:47 to go here in the second period.
And it looks like loose pucks are still plaguing the Chippewas down there. A few minutes ago we saw the one that kind of got loose in the slot, but luckily for them there was no U of M Flint player to put it in, and just then in the crease as well.
Now Central Michigan back on the attack after an offensive zone face-off win. Julian Johnson batting it around. Comes up to the point for Martin. He steps down the wall and his shot is gobbled up there by Panaccio with 12:35 to go here in period two. Central Michigan has really started to get their feet underneath them here in this second period. I think really starting with that Lucas Hutton goal. The defenseman out of Novi has the puck up at the point off the CMU faceoff win. He'll play it off the boards. It's loose at the side of the net. 3 in the circle. And Michigan-Flint will move out on the opposite side near wing. Hutton will chip it ahead. Intended for Morgan. Couldn't connect. Bounces around at center where it's gloved down by Placio and will retreat back to his own blue line. Wolverines trying to work things out. They've really had control yanked from their hands. Carpenter, though, in with a shot that's blocked up and out of play. For another stoppage of play and another face-off in the Central Michigan end. And hopefully Central Michigan can turn things around in the face-off circle, as it's been difficult for them not only today but also throughout the year to win face-offs. They really haven't had a consistent great face-off winner the last couple of seasons.
And that's where everything stems from, obviously. The face-off is where play begins, and if you can't control the face-off, then good luck controlling the play.
Well, Chippewas control the face-off, and they'll look to control the play up the right wing here.
Well, look at that.
Bump it into the offensive end. And it'll be taken by Bishop behind the net. And we got a penalty coming up here. And it'll be a hook on Michigan-Flint, so the Chippewas will go to the power play here. Their second of the night. In reality, their first, as their first one was a 12-second overlap penalty.
A bit abbreviated.
Just a tad.
Just a tad, but having a full power play can allow the Chippewas to build on the momentum they've already built on with the Hutton goal, get another one, go up 2-0, and then you're really in control of this game, even if you make some mistakes in your own zone.
I mean, this is very similar as play is underway. Central Michigan controlling the offensive end. Look out, Campbell has it left circle up top for Martin. He sends it
Down the right wing to Gibbs. He'll venture top of the right circle. Shot block. Save rebound. Campbell put it wide. It's out in front. Put just wide by Morgan. A great opportunity off a wonky Karam. Now Martin. Backhand feed to Gibbs. He'll play it near side. And the one-timer by Campbell whistled wide. Now Gibbs was able to seal the wall once, but not twice, as it's eventually gotten out here by Gore with 30 seconds gone in the power play for the Chippewas.
Opportunity after opportunity right there in the first 30 seconds. I mean, when you get a rebound off the goalie, you just got to punch that thing in.
And we saw last night Isaac Leisner, lots of juicy rebounds, led to a lot of Michigan-Flint opportunities, and this time Panaccio has led up the bulk of the rebounds. Gibbs venturing left circle, a shot through traffic that was blocked by Panaccio. Rebound controlled by Campbell in the circle, a shot. He snapped that one just wide. Martin has it far half wall. His shot blocked. Campbell faked the slap shot. Eventually got Wood on it, but he's hauled down at the point. Puck, though, comes free to Gibbs. Working behind the net, works in, shot save. Panaccio, rebound laid behind the Wolverine goal. And it's cleared out here by Meisner with 38 seconds to go, and the Hinkson penalty. Central Michigan has done a good job of generating offenses but on this power play, but now they face their kryptonite, reestablishing the pressure in the offensive zone. It's been a struggle for them all season. They got 20 seconds to do it on the power play, and as soon as I say that, Jace Johnson's worked over as he tries to enter the zone on the near wing, and it's sent back down the ice. Now a stretch pass ahead too far for Bishop, and pass ahead for Gilgren will go, or from Gilgren will go for icing. It's been another struggle for Central Michigan is when they've been stymied through the neutral zone on these power plays, they haven't been able to reestablish that zone pressure. They end up trying to stretch the play, get more momentum going the other way, and they try to make longer passes, and it doesn't work. And lo and behold, as out of the box comes Hinkson, you weren't able to establish a second opportunity on the power play. 0 for 2 are the Chippewas officially. Camara from the left point. Shot deflected out in front. It was blocked before it could get to Panaccio, and Placio will play it up the near side. Out at center, Boxa had on the near side. There to Moe. He had it, held it at the line, flopped it into the far corner. Gilgren couldn't get it out. Kept in by Placio. He pursues down into the far corner. He's worked over. And away comes Gilgren. Now a penalty is going to come up on Central Michigan. It's going to be Jake Bishop to go to the box. I believe for a slash here. Yep, it indeed is going to be a slash on Central Michigan. So right after a power play where it seemed like they were able to get some good things going, they're going to go right back to the PK.
Yeah, CMU's got to hold fast here. These penalties are kind of very similar to the way this second period has been going, just kind of the back and forth. Now it's U of M Flint's opportunity, and Central Michigan's got to stand tall, and this is exactly where controlling the play in your own zone comes into play as they win the faceoff.
Flint's third power play of the night. They're 0 for 2. Now again, much like Central Michigan, they had an abbreviated power play, so we'll call it 1 for 1 colloquially. Cutting through center, Carpenter left to right for the Wolverines, into the right wing circle. Angling down into the slot, pressured by the Chippewas, gets it up to the left point for Gore. Deep slot, stepping in, Placio, his shot sailed wide. It'll be controlled by Carpenter once again, left half board. Center point here for Placio, back along the left wall for Carpenter. His shot was blocked and turned aside by the left pad of Jones. Chippewas clear at the length of the ice with 1:16 to go on the man advantage for Michigan-Flint. Boxa able to redirect this into the offensive end for the Wolverines. He lost it, and Maddox Grimes trying to get it out here. Played it off at Stanchion. Another weird carom, but Central Michigan able to control and send it down the ice. And Michigan-Flint kind of facing the same thing that Central Michigan faces on these power plays, unable to re-establish possession as Bottles is able to strip the man of the puck and send it down the ice once again. So the Chippewas doing a really good job of negating any opportunity. And now look out, Hinkson got the puck, steps in, shot saved by Jones off the left pad. Now down into the right wing corner. Boxa trying to pull it free. Pardon me, that's Wisniewski. Out of Grand Blanc High School, played with right now Central Michigan scratch Ryan Grolo. Got it up to the point. Here's a shot right on, gobbled up there by Jones, and he holds on with 16 seconds to go in the Bishop Minor penalty.
Not as much pressure as we would come to expect from Flint on this power play, considering how the rest of the game has been going. CMU has actually been doing a good job at just clearing the puck out of there and locking it down and controlling the play while they kill this penalty.
Well, trying to control the play here off the defensive zone faceoff win. They rim it around to the far boards as Blevins able to keep that in for Michigan-Flint. Loose puck off the boards, controlled by Bottles. He's able to get it out to center, but it's chopped right back in. Chris Martin holds in his own circle, dump it all the way down the ice. Icing irrelevant as the Chippewas are coming off the penalty kill. Shot was wide. It comes back up to the left point, unable to be kept in by Martin, and it'll drift back into the Central Michigan end. Played back out to center. Meisner will take it there and fire it on in. It'll be played defensively by Martin near side. We'll find Jace Johnson, stretch pass ahead, read well by Meisner, and the captain for Michigan-Flint will turn up the left wing and dump it in. 6:46 to go here in period 2. Central Michigan up 1-0 off of Lucas Hutton's first as a Chippewa. Blevins back in his own end, will play it to the near side for Meisner. Through center, deflected. Chippewas able to settle it down under the stick of Chris Martin. He'll play it up the right wing. On the bumper, it was intercepted. And it's bouncing around at center once again. Controlled here by Hop. Steps over the line, drop back for Johnson. In with a shot, save! And the rebound is sent down the ice here by Michigan-Flint. And a good opportunity there for CMU. Jace Johnson, a tad frustrated as he'll turn around and skate back to the Central Michigan bench. A good opportunity there. He's robbed by the glove of Panaccio.
Yeah, and Jace Johnson has been, well, he had that really good opportunity earlier in the period, and he just missed that opportunity. Now you got to think that's going to light a fire under him and therefore the whole team as this game keeps on going.
Johnson's got 12 points this year, 10 of them goals. Looking for his 11th there. And he sits on the bench, and this line for CMU in the top line looks to go to work. It's Bottles, Bishop, and Campbell out there. Campbell able to keep that clearing attempt in at the line. He kicks it down deep after the pressure, has it at the side of the net, coughed it up, and Bottles will go into the corner with Hinkson. Poked up to the point for Camara. He keeps it alive. Right point, Gilgren will step in. A shot that was wide of goal. Rebound controlled behind the net. Flipped over to the far side. Gilgren stepping down from the point, puts it behind the net once again, and the Wolverines' Potter will play it up the boards where it's controlled by Hinkson near side. Hinkson trying to get it out and skate it out. Worked over by Campbell, who will take his man into the boards as the puck comes back into the Central Michigan end. Josh Gilgren moves things up the left wing out of Purdue Northwest. Spent a couple of years there before transferring to CMU. He'll dump it in and go off for a change. Play now down in the Michigan-Flint end with 5:08 to go in the second period. Chippewas up 1-0. Play down to the left wing corner. Two Chippewas go in. Julian Johnson able to poke it free behind the net, but it will be controlled by Hayden Rose. One of two Rose brothers on this team. Coughed it up at the point. A shot that was blocked, and it comes back to the near side. Meisner able to get it up to the point. Bowerson gloved it down, but it's going to be a hand pass called on CMU with 4:42 to go in the second period. And again, that Hutton penalty, or pardon, that Hutton goal seems to have been a turning point here in this game, Brody, as Central Michigan has finally been able to get their feet underneath them.
Yeah, and considering that Hutton goal is the only tally on the scoreboard so far, CMU just, they've got to look to keep building on that and keep the pressure on Flint.
They were able to maintain the 3-0 lead yesterday throughout the second and third periods, but today it's been a much tighter game. A much more dominant game for Michigan-Flint, and a big hit on the near side by Andrew Siraki. That's what the second or third hit he's laid here today. Michigan-Flint wanting a penalty. They aren't going to get it. Meanwhile, Palacio moves in. He's got it left circle, holds top thereof, sends it out in front for Rose, but he couldn't cleanly handle it, and it's loose on the near side boards. Another Michigan-Flint body falls as the Chippewas are able to clear it down the ice. Icing waved off as the Maize and Blue play it back in their own end with 4 minutes to go in this period. This is dumped down the ice. Bowerson in a race here with Wisniewski. They go behind the net. Wisniewski able to work it free. Bumped off the puck by Connor Morgan. And it'll be played in the right wing corner. It's been a lot more physical of a game for Central Michigan the last couple of games. Something we've wanted to see out of them for the start of the season, but only able now to make it come to fruition. A big hit across the way by Siraki again, this time leveling Devin Gardner. Away come the Chippewas. Nick Kuhn out of his defensive end will loft it into the offensive end. Panaccio plays it at the side of his own cage. Pass ahead through center. Berger couldn't control. It'll be poked ahead here by Gardner, who takes it. Hop to the board. Now Wisniewski drifting down into the corner. He'll wander around behind the net. Picks it up there, sends it to the point for Meisner. Meisner will play it around the net. Going to be controlled by Melody in the far corner. It'll come to the near side. Battling for it there, Gardner able to play it. Poked away from him. It's loose in the bottom of the right wing circle. And it'll be played by Berger. He's got it for the Wolverines up to the right point for Gardner. Chippewa end 2 on right, 2:43 to go here in this period. Chippewa's up 1-0. Michigan, though, pressuring. Back up to the point. It's poked away here from Gardner. Now Jace Johnson's in on another breakaway. Steps in, shot, right pad save there by Panaccio. Boy, he has been sharp on those 2 Jace Johnson breakaways tonight. And another frustration for Johnson to add on to the pile. Now Wisniewski forcing a turnover away from Chris Martin. They'll go down into the corner with 2:15 to go in the period.
Man, when is Jace Johnson going to score? It's got to be only a matter of time now. He's had some great chances.
Here's Gibbs working in. A shot rang off the mask there of Panaccio, and you'd expect Jace Johnson to score soon, and his line's out there right now. The only 3 Chippewas on the season to produce more than 10 points thus far. They cough it up, though, and Temple will lead the rush for the Wolverines. He's got it left wing side, trying to feed it down low, but it's cut off by Hop. Temple gets it back, though. His centering feed knocked down momentarily. Look out. He's got it in front of Jones. Sent it wide, and Jones was able to seal the right pad on the far post to stop Moe's stuff attempt on the far side. 93 seconds to go, and now we got a penalty, a tripping call coming up on Central Michigan. I believe it's going to be Lucas Hutton to take a seat. Chris Martin, the captain, frustrated for Central Michigan as he goes back to the box. There isn't a Chippewa in the penalty box yet. I don't think Lucas Hutton realizes the penalty was on him. Indeed, it's going to be actually on Andrew Siraki here. And Siraki's out on the ice. Wait a minute. I was wrong. Michigan-Flint's on the penalty kill. CMU's on the power play. My bad, folks. From the way Chris Martin was acting toward the referee, I thought the penalty had been called on CMU, and
Fooled me.
yeah, fooled both of us. Nonetheless, Chippewas are on the power play, and Isaac Gibbs gets hauled down coming through center, and no penalty is going to be called on him, as he had a couple of Wolverines fall on top of him. 92 seconds to go in the power play for the Chippewas. Owen Campbell through center. Across that line, down the right wing half wall. We'll play it around behind the net with 53 seconds to go in the second period. More penalty time than period time, so this will possibly carry over into the second period if CMU doesn't score. Siraki ahead to Morgan, trying to dangle in on goal. Coughed it up, though, and it'll be played in the corner. Back up to the point. Here's Martin stepping in across to the right wing side for Gibbs. His centering feed to nobody in particular, and it'll come all the way back out to center. Frustrating start to the power play here for CMU. Now Jace Johnson has it at center. He wanders over the line, got tied up, and it's sent back out to center with 15 seconds to go in the period. Sam Camara back at his own end with 10 seconds to go. Jace Johnson across to Josh Gilgren. Across the line, pulls up in front of the door, sent it out in front, it's loose. Comes into the end boards and centered out in front. Johnson couldn't connect with Hop, and that'll do it for the second period. Chippewas unable to do anything on a late power play, but they hold the advantage as we head into the third period. Lucas Hutton getting his first as a Chippewa and his first in the ACHA to give the Chippewas a 1-0 lead. We'll step aside, be back with the
Second intermission report here on CCHN. Stand by. It's 1-0 after 40 minutes here from Martin Ice Arena. We're back radio rinkside here for the second intermission report. Central Michigan up 1-0 on the Michigan Wolverines at the end of 2 periods of play. And boy, what an exciting second period, Brody, for Central Michigan. We've had a lot of firsts this season. Nick Kuhn scoring his first goal, along with Jalen McCray, a couple of other guys, Isaac Hopp scoring his first goal back at Michigan State. And tonight we get another first. Lucas Hutton on a beautiful tally, able to give Central Michigan the lead about 3 minutes into that second period.
That was just an absolutely wonderful shot, and it's always great to see a guy get his first, especially at a big moment where the game was just tied up at 0 and it didn't really seem like anything was going to go. And for that to be the thing that finally went for CMU to give them the opening score and the 1-0 lead is just picture perfect.
Yeah, indeed, picture perfect. And it was a beautiful play by Hutton. He comes off the bench, goes down into the scrum along the half wall. He's able to find the loose puck, pull it free, and at that point, everybody was drawn to the pile along the far half boards. Nobody's on him. He's got at least 10 feet around him, steps free into the right wing circle, and rifles a shot into the top right corner to make it a 1-0 game for Central Michigan, which is where we stand at the end of 2 periods of play. Central Michigan on the power play here at the end of the second period, as
Bryce Moe is in the box for a slash. That came at 18:28, but they are 0 for 2 on the power play thus far. Michigan-Flint 0 for 3 as we enter here in this third period. And I really want to talk about, Brody, the way things have kind of turned around for Central Michigan here in this game. Look at that first period, 15-7, the shots on goal. It was dominant Michigan-Flint pressure throughout that first 20 minutes. I think, credit to Brendan Martin, I think he got his guys settled down in the room, kind of like, hey, what? Like, wake up. We need. Like, this is a team that, yes, they're good, but we should be right there with them. This should not be this dominant of a game. And things really changed in that second period.
Yeah, the effects were obvious. I mean, there were a lot more chances coming from CMU in Flint's zone. The amount of loose pucks in front of the net that we were seeing in CMU's zone in the first period were happening to U of M Flint in the second period. And all of that just kind of piling up, and the energy building, from Jace Johnson's chances just really got the team going, and that's what finally ended up getting that puck in the net.
Yeah, again, Jace Johnson had a couple of breakaways in that period. Unfortunately for him, he's unable to capitalize on either of them. The first one was he tried a couple of dangles, eventually worked to the far side, couldn't get it to go in the backhand. A good left pad save by Panaccio, and then his second opportunity, got a nifty feed up the left wing. He's in all alone from the left side and just tries this time to go with the quick shot. Panaccio again up to the task. And boy, he's been good throughout this game and throughout this season for Michigan-Flint. Leads the team in goals against average with a .289 mark and an .891 save percentage, likewise leading the team. At LaGrange, Illinois, played 3 seasons of Illinois high school hockey, posting a 13-2-0 record and an .896 save percentage, and he's been good throughout this game. Part of the reason it's been so close, and credit to both goaltenders. They've been sharp. Lauren Jones stopping 24 of 24 Michigan-Flint shots, and for Panaccio, he's turned aside 24 CMU attempts. That's your first 2 periods recap. We'll step aside, be back with the out-of-town scoreboard before we return to the play-by-play of period number 3. Stand by, more coming up on the intermission report right after this. 1-0 CMU up on the Wolverines. Time now to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here at Martin Ice Arena. Reagan Cleaves back inside the broadcast booth with you here at Martin Ice Arena. 1-0 CMU leads after 40 minutes. On the out-of-town scoreboard side of things, the Grand Rapids Griffins sitting at 6-2-1 will take on Cleveland tomorrow at 6:30 on the road. They've only played 2 Western Conference teams to start off the year through their 9 games, and they have had a pretty good run of that conference, going 3-0-1 on that road trip. Going 3-0-1 on that road trip out to Springfield, Hartford, and Lehigh Valley. But they will take on Cleveland tomorrow at 6:30. They suffered their first home loss of the season yesterday, losing to Rockford 4-1. Rockford's really the only team that's been able to really give Grand Rapids any frustrations early on in this season. They've beaten them 4-1 twice here already in the first 9 games of the year. There are only 2 regulation losses coming to those Ice Hogs. Griffins will be at Cleveland again tomorrow, 6:30. Bob Kaiser will have the call for you on Wood Radio 1300, 106.9 FM. You can also listen on iHeartRadio if that suits you, or you can tune in on Flow Hockey. Again, the AHL beginning a new partnership with Flow Hockey at the start of this season, and you can watch every single AHL game on the platform all season long. Saginaw Spirit today victors over the Owen Sound attack 6-2, a dominant second and third period, scoring 3 goals in each. Even though the shots were even, Saginaw dominated, going 3 for 6 on the power play. And goals coming from Nick Sema And, stars of the game going to Nick Seema, who had 2 goals on the night, and Michael Misa, who had a goal and an assist. Alec Leonard, the lone star for the Owen Sound attack, with 1 assist in their loss. For the Red Wings, they'll kick things off against Buffalo tonight at 7 p.m. Wings, again, we discussed this yesterday, 4-3 on the season. They've lost 3 consecutive, going back most recently to that Winnipeg loss on Wednesday, when they lost 6-2 to one of the best teams in the league. They'll take on Buffalo again tomorrow at 7. They already played earlier on this season. I believe Buffalo came out with the win in that. Then they'll travel to Chicago on Wednesday for an 8 p.m. start. But tonight, after we get off the air, you can tune in to 97.1 The Ticket. Ken Cowell and Paul Woods have the call for you there. Or you go to FanDuel Sports Detroit. It'll be Ken Daniels and Mickey Redman there on the newly rechristened FanDuel Sports Network. Used to be Bally, but obviously in the midst of bankruptcy moves, so they had to sell. And so everything, all the old Fox Sports regional sports networks got renamed in the aftermath of that. Well, Zamboni's got a couple more passes down on the ice below us, but as soon as that's over, both teams will get back on the ice and we shall return. Stand by. Third period action coming up next here on CCHN. Chippewas holding a 1-0 lead over the Michigan-Flint Wolverines. You're listening to CMU D3 Club Hockey on CCHN.
Maize and blue and the maroon and gold are stepping back out onto the ice here for period number 3. Central Michigan has 28 seconds left on a Bryce Moe penalty that allowed Central Michigan to kind of regain the momentum after a couple of penalties in that period. And we're set to go here for period number 3. Brody, Central Michigan, again, a much better second period. You kind of did what you said they needed to do at the beginning of that second period. They were able to take advantage of the opportunities, getting Lucas Hutton his first ACHA goal. But it was also a lot in due to the fact that they were able to get the pucks up and out of their own end. Again, aside from keeping on doing the same things that they did well in that second period, how do they hold off this Michigan-Flint team that was very good at coming back yesterday?
Just kind of what I've been saying all game when they're in their own zone. Just make sure they got control of the puck. Make sure it's not bouncing around free out in the ice anywhere. They had a few breaks where they were lucky there wasn't a Flint player in the vicinity of the puck, kind of out in front of the net there. And they need to cut down Flint's opportunities by really just battening down the hatches and locking it down in this third period.
Indeed. And hoping to lock it down, they send up this top power play unit in Jace Johnson, Hop, and Bishop. All out there with Kamara and Gilgren on the defensive end. And we're underway here in this third period. Isaac Hop quickly along the far boards in front of the Michigan-Flint bench. Will slap it around behind the goal. Will be played on the near side here by Placio, though. Will be able to get it out. It was unable to kept in, though, by Kamara. He tried to kick it to keep it alive, but unable to do so. Jace Johnson touches up offside here on CMU with 16 seconds gone in this third period. Draw will be just outside the Michigan-Flint end, right in front of Brody. And it's won by the Chippewas and played back out at center. Dumped on in, back here to play it is Conlon Carpenter. He rims it up the boards, and though it was kept in on first attempt, it's sent back down the ice by Michigan-Flint. That'll do it for the Moe penalty. Central Michigan 0 for 3 on the power play here this afternoon. Holding behind his own net, Josh Gilgren trying to start the breakout for CMU. Chipped it up the wall to Siraki, though he couldn't get it out. Gore kept it in at the line. It comes back out to center where it's bounced around on the stick of Isaac Hop. He'll shovel it in on goal from the left wing side, and it'll be held on there by Panaccio. Again, a good kind of fast-moving start here for Central Michigan, Brody. Again, this is kind of what they've needed to do. Michigan-Flint's a speedy young team. They've been able to kind of shut that down the last couple of 20 minutes.
Yeah, as long as the fast-moving play stays in Flint's end, it should be a smooth 19 minutes for CMU.
Here's Siraki, steps in with a shot over top the goal. Rebound, it's loose. Panaccio holds on. Oh, boy, a bouncing puck creates havoc in front of the Michigan-Flint end. And I think Nick Kuhn may have gotten a stick on that to try to bat it on goal, but it just bounced right into the arm of Panaccio, and he's able to hold on with 58 seconds gone in this period.
From my angle, I would have liked to tell you that across the goal line, but it looks like it just bounced right into Panaccio's glove.
Parallax angle fools us all at some point, including Calgary Flames fans. But dare I bring that up? I might get all the Calgary Flames fans in the comments.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that one.
For those of you that don't know, in the Tampa Bay Lightning faced off in the 2004 Stanley Cup Final, where the Flames thought they had scored a goal late in a pivotal game, and it looked like it crossed the line from the television camera, but it was inconclusive on review. Here's Hutton across the line. He'll dump it into the offensive end. Of course, I say inconclusive on review. They didn't have instant replay at that point. They were, at least in terms of reversing calls. But this is sent down the ice here by Michigan-Flint, icing the signal and the call, albeit a little bit late. But now Nick Carson's giving it to the linesman with his hands in the air, frustrated. And again, he's had a bit of a frustrating weekend here as the Flint head coach, and now he's going to have a discussion with the linesman as he skates over in front of the bench. It looked like it was icing to me. I don't know what he's griping about, Brody.
I couldn't tell you what he's griping about either. I mean, but like you said, kind of a frustrating weekend for Flint. They've been, by all means, playing really well, so maybe it's just boiling over a little something.
And they played a really good 3-period stretch from the second period to the first period of last night to the first period of today. But in the end, Central Michigan has played the more complete 60 minutes last night, and so far they've got the advantage here today. Play down the Central Michigan end to our left. They're defending that goal in front of Lauren Jones and wearing those white home uniforms with maroon and gold trim. Puck now bounces back down to the Michigan-Flint end, putting on the brakes. Here's Conlon Carpenter. His clearing attempt knocked down by Bishop. He tried to backhand that out in front, and it's intercepted here by Blake Berger. We'll shovel it ahead to Riley Melody. The sophomore out of Chelsea will dump it in. Behind the net, Glantz will slam it around the boards and back out to center, where it'll be controlled by Carl Blevins. Blevins across the way, sent it in. Berger tipped it deep, but Central Michigan able to come out with the puck. Here's Bottles in a 2-on-2 down the right wing. Step to the outside. We'll try to cut to the front of goal. Panaccio has made the save, but the rebound is put home. Nathan Bottles with a nifty move, slides it past the right pad of Panaccio. 2-0 CMU, 16:56 to go in regulation.
That's a nice effort by Bottles, just staying with it down there, even though it was kind of patted aside by Panaccio. Initially, he just kept whacking at it and just kind of pushed the puck in there.
And this one charged down to the neutral zone. I think with that threat of Owen Campbell right on the back door, Panaccio couldn't fully commit to make that save on Bottles. And good on that top line for CMU. Now look out, a rebound, the back door. What a save. No, that was blocked in front before it could get to Panaccio. It's back up to the point. Gilgren shot, save, rebound. It's loose out in front. Gibbs tried to get it free to Johnson. He couldn't put it home. Now Hinkson got it out to center, and a penalty coming up. This is going to be interference. And it's going to be assessed to Isaac Hopp. So Central Michigan back on the penalty kill after extending their lead. Their fourth of the night. And hopefully, when we saw this in the first period, Brody, Central Michigan gives up that penalty. Michigan-Flint's able to start controlling this game. Hopefully that doesn't happen here.
Hopefully, especially with, a 2-goal lead on the board. You don't want to see it go down to just a 1-goal lead.
Wolverines win the offensive zone faceoff, but quickly Siraki forces a turnover, and he's got it deep in the Wolverine end. Up on the near side, Conlon Carpenter, though, has the puck up left wing for Michigan-Flint. To the outside, protects the puck from Josh Gilgren with 1:40 to go on the Hop penalty. It's tied up along the far hash marks. Worked free. And it's back behind the net. Berger playing for it for Michigan. Lost it. Baxa kept it in at the point, though. Worked it down the wall here to Gore. Gore centering it out in front off the pad of Lauren Jones, and it comes back out to center with 15:46 to go in period 2. Gore on the rush for the Wolverines. Has it over the line. Tried to center it off a Chippewa body, and it's cleared out to center with 1:10 to go. This has been a good penalty kill here for CMU, and they're trying to do what they've done all night, which is not allow Michigan-Flint to reestablish that zone pressure after initially clearing it on the penalty kill. 55 seconds left. Here comes Carpenter. Dump it down deep and go get it himself. Worked it back up to the point here for Palacio. He had to knock it down out of the air. Got it to Carpenter along the wall. Back behind the net for Gore, the alternate captain for the Wolverines. Plays it up the right point to Baxa. Baxa has it, sidesteps Bottles, stepping into the circle. Lost it along the boards, got it back along the wall, across the way. Here's Gore. He's got it in the corner, back up top for Palacio. Near side Carpenter, top of the circle. He has sent it back across, but was intercepted by Bottles, and it comes back out to center with 17 seconds to go here in this power play. Sent right back into the Chippewa end. Lucas Hutton, who scored his first ACHA goal, was able to get that back out to center. 6 seconds to go in the power play. Hinkson in for Michigan. Flint dangles out in front, but he coughed up the puck, and it slapped back down into the corner. Power play over for Michigan-Flint. Now, shot from a sharp angle there by Meisner. Comes back up to the point on the rebound. Shot goes wide. It's back to the near side where it'll be played up the wall by Hutton. He lost it.
He and Hinkson will go back down into the corner. Bouncing puck. Controlled, pulled free here by Mo. Mo hauls down Gibbs. No penalty coming up. Now we saw Karstens with his hands up earlier, wanting a penalty on, or asking for something from the referees earlier, and now we see Brennan Martin doing the same thing on the Chippewa bench. Meanwhile, Temple back in for Michigan-Flint. His centering feet up to the point. Nobody in particular will drift back into the Michigan-Flint end. Jace Johnson getting hauled down. Again, no penalty call, but another opportunity for Jace where he comes up empty-handed. Now Mo ahead to Temple. With speed up the left wing, the tall defenseman works to the outside. He's got the puck behind the Chippewa net, sent it out in front, gets it back on the rebound. Near side, Placio centered it out in front, took a hop off of Isaac Gibbs, and it'll go back behind the net. Carpenter sent it down deep, absorbed the check from Jace Johnson. Puck wanders around to the near side corner. Puck hopped up in the air, Palacio pulled it free, back up to the right point. Carpenter wanders down to the wall, snapped it just wide. 7 minutes gone here in this second period. Mo, his shot through traffic. Jones didn't see that to the last minute. He redirected it to the corner. Hinkson battling forward there with Isaac Gibbs. Gibbs takes a tumble, so does Hinkson. And the Wolverine comes away with the puck, though. He coughed it up to Isaac Hopp, who sends it the length of the ice, and this will be icing against Central Michigan. They'll be unable to change here, and Chippewas trying to pull some shenanigans as a bunch of them hopped on the ice trying to get a change and trying to confuse the referees. No dice.
Ah, well. But what they have been successfully able to do is just eliminating those chances that were so prevalent in the first period from Flint. I mean, it's looking almost like a different game from CMU's defense now.
Well, it certainly has looked like a much different game for the last two periods for the Chippewas. Isaac Gibbs now will take this and block the shot, send it the length of the ice. It'll go right in on Panaccio, so icing negated. Back up right to left come the Wolverines. They dump it into the Central Michigan end. It'll be played defensively near side by Gilgren. Will play it up the boards on the near side. Bouncing puck at center. Gore tried to feather it on ahead and instead he turned it over, and it's right back into the Flint end. Up on right wing, here's Boxa to the near side, too far for Gore. Bouncing puck out on the near side. Gilgren took down his man on a big hit by Gore, and that's the physicality that Central Michigan has really been bringing the last couple of periods. Now Campbell dangling and shot save. Panaccio rebound, loose in the circle. A shot that was blocked at the point of release by Boxa. Bottles on the big effort, putting it down the wall, centering feed, knocked away, and back out to center by the Wolverines. 8:15 gone here in this third period. Central Michigan holding a 2-0 lead. Goals from Hutton and Bottles have gotten them to this point after a scoreless first period. For Nathan Bottles, it's another goal in a storied collegiate career, 24 goals in 84 games. Icing waved off as Campbell is able to beat this race for CMU. Now Campbell gets manhandled into the boards. No penalty comes from the referee, who was standing 2 feet away from it. Now Campbell off the keep and at the point. Wanders into the slot. Backhanded it there to Hutton. Left point shot deflected in front of Panaccio. Rebound. He made the save. It's loose, but they score! Chris Armentrout's the one who poked it home. Chippewas make the lead 3, 11:01 remaining in regulation.
And that's another loose puck kind of chance that this time the Chippewas were able to capitalize on and make it 3-0. Missed the call maybe on that hit on Owen Campbell, but hey, didn't need the power play, went in the net anyway.
Goals 5 minutes, 55 seconds apart. Central Michigan holds a 3-0 lead. Almost a mirror image of what happened yesterday, where they scored 2 in the first and 1 in the third. Now they get 1 in the second, early on in the second, 2, and now 2 in the third. Chippewas up 3-0. Michigan-Flint, though, not giving up just yet. Nolan Placio leads the rush through center. Cuts across the line. Will dump it into the far corner. Beat Hutton to it. Try to pull the puck free as they get tied up in the corner across the way. 9 minutes, 30 seconds gone in this third period. CMU up 3-0. Near side, Carpenter up the point. For the Wolverines, will dish it down behind the net for Wisniewski. Wisniewski plays it there, gets hauled down by Martin, and more bodies tumble as Julian Johnson comes in and creates havoc. Here's a shot from the right point, deflected into the corner, off of the pad of Jones. Carpenter battling to keep it alive at the point. Wisniewski, as the physicality ramps up here, Michigan-Flint getting more frustrated here with this 3-0 lead, or 3-0 deficit they're facing. Central Michigan, left to right. Here comes Nick Kuhn. Works past Palacio, works in on goal, and Panaccio made the save. A little slow to recover as he got run into by Kuhn, albeit accidentally. We'll see if that affects him going forward. Kuhn rubbed to the boards. He gets it free, though, on the Bowerson shot. That was sent just wide past Panaccio. Back up to the right point. Maddox. Grimes couldn't keep it alive at the point. Instead, Chippewas will have to regroup as he dumped it in. Now a breakout feed intercepted by Siraki. Kuhn's got it in the corner. Back in front for Siraki. Too far for him. Morgan spins around and fires this shot on goal. Gloved out of the air by Panaccio. He holds on with 9:09 to go here in regulation. Chippewas up 3-0.
Things are well in hand for them now with a 3-0 lead, and I mean, they're still generating chances down there. The Chippewas are really kind of asserting a measure of control in this game.
And the forecheck has really come into its own. A shot from the deep slot was blocked in front, and now Michigan-Flint comes back the other way. Moe stripped of the puck by Isaac Gibbs, and now Hop will lead the rush up for CMU. Got caught up in the neutral zone, got it ahead to Gibbs nonetheless. Right wing side, pulls up along the half board, spins around, shot. That was turned aside by Panaccio. Bowerson working down the far wall. He coughed it up, and now it'll be sent back out to center ice with 8:39 to go here in the the third period. They still haven't changed the number on the scoreboard to read period 3 yet.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I've been noticing it all period. That's the first time it's tripped me up. Now it's back out into the Central Michigan end, too far for Temple, and it'll be sent back into the Wolverine end by Kyle Bowerson. 8:16 to go here in regulation. Chippewas up 3-0. Puck bounces around at center ice. It'll be picked up by Jace Johnson, but Owen Campbell, who took a hard hit across the boards, he collapses into the penalty box for CMU. Although he didn't receive a penalty, he's hurting down in the penalty box, and assistant coach Marcus Katzer will go over and take a look at him. He was coming out of the zone as the Chippewas entered, so that's why the offside was called.
That is extremely concerning over there.
It looks like we'll have a trainer come over to take a look at him. Owen Campbell, guessing it's his lower body as he's still laboring in that penalty box area for Central Michigan. Now it's played back out to center ice. We'll keep an eye on Campbell as things proceed on the ice. 7:48 to go in regulation. Chippewas up 3-0. Played along the half boards across the way. It's chopped back out to center ice, and it'll be thrown in here by Camara. Played to the side of his own net by Panaccio. Wolverines again are able to deflect this the length of the ice, and it will go for icing. 7:28 to go. You know, Brody, I was looking away at the play kind of on the near side as the Chippewas were entering the zone with Jace Johnson. Did you see what happened to Campbell?
I was kind of looking at the play too, but I saw him kind of going back to the bench. It looked like he was favoring a leg, certainly. He seemed to be in a lot of pain. He threw his stick into the bench,
And he's
obviously very, very hurt.
And right now he's doubled over with Marcus Katzer keeping an eye on him. We have a trainer looking at him. At least they did. I think he's gone back to the dressing room to get some medical supplies. We'll keep an eye on that as we go on. Near side, Gilgren. As the Chippewas go to work in the offensive end, his slap shot was deflected just wide. Wolverines get to the loose change, flip it up into the low-hanging rafters here at Martin Ice Arena. And we'll have another stoppage of play with 7:13 to go in period 2. 3. Again, they need to change that period number.
I mean, I haven't noticed it all period until you pointed it out, so...
You also haven't been reading the clock the entire time.
That's true. I guess that's not really my job, but...
maybe that's why the guys in the penalty in the scorers table haven't realized it. Meanwhile, play back down below us underway. Jace Johnson poking the puck into the offensive end that was worked over by Meisner. Good effort, though, by the sophomore to try and put some pressure on the Maize and Blue. Back out to the Michigan blue line. Meisner will play it in his own slot. Pass up the near boards, deflected into the zone by Gore, and will roll in on Jones. And he'll halt for a stoppage of play. 6:43 to go, 3-0 CMU. Again, a very similar game to yesterday, Brody, where CMU and Michigan-Flint kind of got off to a little bit of a slower start, at least through those first 10 minutes. Michigan-Flint, though, offensively kind of controlled the latter half of that first period. Now look out, CMU's got a 3-on-1 down the left wing. Gibbs cutting into the slot. A shot, save Panaccio. Rebound was sent to the near side. The Wolverines avert the danger, and they come away with a 3-on-2 of their own. Here's a shot from the right wing side by Hinkson. Skitters wide. Gore kept it alive on the near side, and his shot goes wide again. Temple across the way. Could control the bouncing puck, and now Jace Johnson moves up. Weaving his way through center ice. Will backhand it in and go off for a change with 6:06 to go here in regulation. Out through center. Kuhn knocked down the clearing attempt. Spun around and fired it in. Siraki in pursuit. Scored his first goal of the campaign yesterday. And now has 4 on the season at a three-game assist streak. Back in the start of October. Good to see him finally get back on the board. Now a big hit by Siraki again, knocking down his man in Hinkson. Away come the Wolverines in a 2-on-2. Meisner gets lit up again by Siraki. He's been laying the body all night. It's been fun to watch him, and that physicality has really disrupted the flow of this Michigan-Flint team. They're young and they're speedy, but unlike the days of yore, the physicality is not something that they focus on.
Well, a speedster can only do so much against a brick wall, huh?
And Siraki certainly has become more brick over the last couple of years. Here's a shot from the left wing side. That went wide as Central Michigan back at the offensive end. Now up the wing. Here comes Mo near side across that line. He'll step in with a shot that was sent wide of Jones. Rebound comes back up to the point where the Chippewas will move through center. Here's Nick Kuhn across the line with Miller. Had the puck poked free from him, and Wolverines move it back out to center where it's fired in by Nick Temple. Under 5 minutes to play here in the third period. Chippewas up 3-0 on some stout defensive performances. This is deflected down the ice, icing the signal. It's waved off, though, at the last moment. It's out in front. Miller couldn't get it to go. And the Chippewas right back on the puck across the way. Back up at the point, Armentrout. Spins around. He's got the third goal of the night. Back up to the right point for Clements. He passed it down the wall for Armentrout. He fanned on the shot. He'll battle for it now in the corner. 4:13 to go in the period. Back up to the right point. Clements steps in. Shot saved by Panaccio, and it comes back behind the net where the Chippewas force another turnover. Centering feed. Armentrout denied once, and his second opportunity goes over top of the goal. Oh, boy, a great opportunity there for Chris Armentrout. Not often you get 2 point-blank opportunities from the slot, but he unfortunately can't come up with either of them.
Just one right after another, but I mean, that's just another example of the way CMU has just been able to keep putting this game further and further away from Flint in the third period with a 3-goal lead.
They've got a 3-goal lead. Lauren Jones has played very well in net 2 on our right. Gilgren, meanwhile, as the play is in front of Panaccio. Here's a shot that was tipped right out in front. Gibbs, another sharp angle opportunity, was denied. Bottom of the left circle. Gilgren kept it in at the right point. Fed it down the wall. Meisner trying to keep it free from Chippewa hands. He's now got it behind the net on the deflection. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Back out at center. Nathan Bottles holds it there to the near side. Josh Gilgren plays it back defensively. Pass up the right wing. Deflected into the offensive zone by Bishop. Gibbs on pursuit in the Michigan-Flint end. Pulls it free here for Bishop. They battle for it in the corner. A couple of lines have been rejiggered with Campbell out. He's still in the penalty box next to the scorer's table. Now Michigan-Flint will dump this in
It'll be turned aside there by Jones. 3 minutes to go here in regulation. Chippewas up 3-0. Spinning on the near side, Zach Potter feeds it back up top right circle. There's a shot saved by Jones. Rebound. It's loose out in front, and it's behind the net again. Meanwhile, Potter pulled it free. A shot. He scores. A scramble in front of the Chippewa net. It's Zach Potter who puts it home. His 7th of the campaign. It's 3-1 Michigan-Flint.
That's 3-1 CMU. It took a while for Michigan-Flint to get that goal. I mean, considering all of the kind of odd-looking chances they've had all night, one was bound to go in sometime. But with 2:40 left, CMU still got a 2-goal lead, and that's still more than enough to put a game away. Lauren Jones is still playing real well.
And the unfortunate thing about that goal, yes, it ruins a shutout for Lauren Jones, but it also deprives us of the chance of making history tonight. Central Michigan has never shut out an opponent in consecutive games, and they were 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from doing so here, but a shot by Zach Potter makes it a 2-goal game, and Michigan-Flint by no means is out of this game just yet. They have it back up at the point. Gore slides it across right circle. Here's a shot deflected over top of the goal, and it'll be played in the near corner here by Siraki. Up to the point. Kept alive by Palacio. Skates into the slot. Tried to deliver it left circle for Hinkson, but he got knocked off the puck. He gets it back, though. Harassed from behind, though, by Hutton, and he'll lift it out to center. Here's Kuhn. Working around his opposite number, Carpenter. His shot from the high slot was blocked. He'll circle back and out of the zone for a line change with 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in regulation. Michigan-Flint trailing 3-1, getting that most recent goal from Zach Potter. Now Gibbs forces a turnover in the Michigan-Flint end. He'll go and dig it deep for CMU. He'll pin it up against the boards with Nick Temple trying to poke it free. 80 seconds to go. Puck came free across the way. Hinkson, though, pins it up against the boards. Armentrout battling for it there. Now Hinkson and Armentrout in a wrestling match along the half boards. Penalties are coming up, and they're only coming up to one team. We'll see who it is, as it's a battle for it there. And it's going to be a roughing call, it looks like, on Austin Hinkson. So Central Michigan at 19:01 is going to go back on the power play for the 4th time tonight. And that's more of a frustration penalty than anything for Central Michigan, for Michigan-Flint, as Hinkson was battling with Armentrout across the way. They get tied up. Arms go flailing a little bit, and then Hinkson grabs a hold of Armentrout, hauls him down, and the Chippewas will go on the power play. They're 0 for 3. Through their first 3 opportunities, they were 1 for 2 last night. Over the line left side was Newski. Netminder Panaccio still stapled to the blue paint to our right. Gilgren will dump this into the offensive end, going back behind the Michigan-Flint goal. It's pulled free by Hop, centered out for Jace Johnson. He pokes it to the near side with 35 seconds to go. Wisniewski pulled it free in his own end, and he'll work it out here. 26 seconds to go. It's been a hard-fought last couple of games for CMU. Look out, loose puck at the Wolverine line. Jace working in, shot save there by Panaccio. Rebound. He comes over, and it's blocked in front of him. Now Jace Johnson going after Meisner in the corner with 10 seconds to go. Here's a shot from the point that was blocked in the slot, and it's lifted out by Michigan-Flint. 5 seconds to go. Chippewas will chase the puck behind their own net, and that'll do it. For this first time in 3 seasons, the Chippewas have swept the Michigan-Flint Wolverines. After last year's split, this one is sure revenge best served cold. 3-1 the final here from Martin Ice Arena. We'll step aside at the postgame show for you. Coming up next, Chippewas win 3-1 here at Martin.
Another victory for Central Michigan here at Martin Ice Arena. They win 3-1 over the Michigan-Flint Wolverines on a night where history could have been made, and except for the fact that Zach Potter snapped the shutout streak for Central Michigan at 17-20 of that third period, ending what could have been back-to-back shutouts for the Chippewas for the first time ever in their club's history. But that's the only time I'll mention that here in this post-game show, because that's not the important part. The important part is Central Michigan was heavily outplayed in that first period, managed to escape with a scoreless tie, and from there they controlled the game. They came back, settled things down, and really really earned this victory.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah, I mean, the reason Central Michigan earned this victory is they were able to settle things down after that really tumultuous first period. They were outshot 15-7, allowed 2 power plays to Michigan-Flint, albeit one of them extremely abbreviated. They were 0 for 1 on their power play of their own in that first period, but out of the gate in that second, they came out strong. They really were able to turn the tide. They were beating guys to pucks. They were really forcing the issue to Michigan-Flint, and credit to Lucas Hutton. He kind of turned things around for Central Michigan. 2:23 into that second period. He comes off the bench, is able to pull the puck free off of a scrum on the far half wall, steps into the right wing circle, snaps a shot top right corner, and makes it a 1-0 game. His first as a Chippewa, and boy, what a special moment for him here tonight. It's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's got to feel great. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That, looking back, that was the point where, in the game, where CMU really kind of started to take control and start swinging things in their favor. And for Hutton's first goal to be a goal like that changes a game like that, to be that important, I mean, I can't imagine how great he's got to be feeling right now.
Yeah, it's a fantastic moment for him, the sophomore out of Novi. He now, in the last 6 games, has points in 5 of them, and he doesn't score a lot of goals. Only 9 points in his 2 seasons at Novi High School, but already he's got 8 points coming into tonight in his ACHA career. He comes out with 9. So Hutton gets that goal in the second period to put CMU up 1-0. And then Nathan Bottles on a really nifty play up the right wing, able to go in on a 2-on-1 with Owen Campbell. He draws the defenseman to the near side, and then instead of trying to pass the puck in front to Campbell, he just wanders his way, cuts in front of the net, and then is able to stuff it past the outstretched right pad of Max Panaccio to make it a 2-0 game. And that would end up being the game winner, because Zach Potter snapped the shutout at 17-20 after Armentrout, who, we'll talk about him a little bit later, but he was stymied on a couple of opportunities tonight. Armentrout, again, only 1 goal in his D3 career. Had 3 goals with the D2 squad before transferring teams at the end of for the start of last season. But Armentrout had a couple of great opportunities tonight, especially later on in that game. He had 2 point-blank slap shot opportunities in the slot that he couldn't convert.
Well, it's good to see that at least one of them went in. Out of all of the chances the Chippewas had, it's just good to see him going.
Yeah, and especially, yeah, you're right, especially for Armentrout, who scored his first goal as a D3 Chippewa back on October 18th against Davenport. Good to see him get back on the score sheet in a fairly unconventional way. A scramble out in front, he's able to poke the puck home, and we saw a couple of those goals last week or 2 weeks ago against Davenport. Tonight, Central Michigan is able to capitalize on one as well. So 3-1, your final goals from Hutton, Bottles, and Armentrout for CMU, and a goal from Zach Potter to make it a 3-1 game toward the end of it for Michigan-Flint. Power plays for CMU. They went 0 for 4 here this afternoon. Michigan-Flint likewise 0 for 4. Neither team really generating many opportunities after the first clear by the penalty-killing team. So power plays, or power play is not very good. Penalties very good, or penalty kills, pardon me, very good this afternoon. Shots on goal, Central Michigan out shooting Michigan-Flint 42-31 on the night. CMU, despite being outshot in that first period, managed to come back from an 8 shot on goal deficit. So they had 18 and 17 shots over the second and third periods respectively. That really is a signifier of how much this game turned after that first intermission. Time now to take a look at our impact players. We had Jace Johnson, who, again, he had a couple of good opportunities, Brody, but he was kind of frustrated throughout the night.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him getting visibly frustrated in that last minute where his last shot on goal was saved by Panaccio. I just saw him, like, grabbing his stick like, God, you know, why does it gotta be tonight? But all in all, he'll come back. You know, he's the kind of player that takes a game like this and uses it to fuel himself. He's got 10 goals so far. There's no reason not to think he won't get many more by the time this season is over.
Yeah, and Jace has played very well throughout the season. In the last 6 games, he has 9 points, so no wonder he's a little bit frustrated being held pointless against a team where he scored a goal last night, and a team that CMU feels that they should have handled, and they have, especially historically. They now improved to 16-4-1 in their series against Michigan-Flint, and they'll now turn the page to that Route 66 showcase coming up next week. Before we get to that, though, time now to take a look at our 3 stars of the game. We already touched on this, but Chris Armentrout getting our 3rd star of the game, gets that 2nd goal of the campaign. But again, he was all over the ice tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was the kind of player where he's just kind of always there, and I feel like I was hearing you say his name a lot. He was just getting down into the zone. I mean, I remember, you know, seeing those 2 shots. You know, he's trying to, you know, play things off the rebound and really just getting in there and driving the CMU offense.
Yeah, the 4th liner for Central Michigan out there with Julian Johnson and Andrew Miller. Again, things shook up. Speaking of those lines later on in the game, we'll get to that in a second, though. First, we got to finish our 3 stars of the game. I got to stay on track here. Lauren Jones gets our 2nd star of the game. 30 saves on the night. Had the shutout snap, which is 2:40 to go. A tough way to end the night for him, but he shouldn't hang his head. He played very well here tonight. That shot was through traffic. He had no clue where that was. No chance to make a save on it, but so he gets our 2nd star tonight. And then Lucas Hutton, his first career ACHA goal, and he gets the 1st star here tonight. Again, a good effort from him, not only with that goal, but also all around the ice here tonight. Back to what I was saying, talking about Armentrout and that 4th line and things getting reshuffled as we went on in the night. We saw at about midway through that 3rd period, Owen Campbell take a nasty spill into the boards, got his leg twisted up, and he did not play the rest of the game. He was in some severe discomfort down in the penalty box next to the Central Michigan bench across the way. So unfortunate to see him go down, especially when he's had a pretty good year. 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. But I think importantly for Central Michigan, if he's not able to play the next couple of games, they lose their captain.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a horrible morale hit for the team to lose your captain to something like that really was just a non-contact kind of injury. Just fell right into the boards. Sometimes you just get a bad break, you know, and it's just terrible to see something like that. And we'll have to see how the Chippewas respond to that going forward in their games without him.
Yeah, and going forward, they've got the Route 66 showcase coming up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll take a deeper look at that after this break. Short pause here on CCHN. This is the postgame show presented by SeamishIceHockey.com. Well, as tough of a start to this season as Central Michigan has had in out-of-conference play, they went 3-7 to start the year in the out-of-conference play. They played 5 straight MCHC West opponents. It doesn't get much easier for them going forward. Through the month of November, we've already talked about Lawrence Tech and Oakland, 2 top 5 opponents coming up toward the end of the month. But they turn now to play 3 games in 3 days against 2 top 20 teams. They'll take on Maryville Friday at 5 p.m. Down at Brightspeed Ice Park in Springfield, Missouri, and then they'll take on Missouri State, number 3 in the nation. They'll be playing them on home ice, so that's going to be a big test for Central Michigan. And coming up next week against 2 top 25 opponents that they really don't see very often.
Yeah, it just seems like the ride doesn't end sometimes. Getting a lot of tough teams to start out the season and just keep playing tough teams throughout the season. I mean, it certainly will be a challenge for the Chippewas, and honestly, I mean, it will speak a lot about them as a team if they can live up to it.
Yeah, and it'll also speak volumes about the teams that they do play. If you remember back 2 seasons ago, Central Michigan was able to make the trip down to Miami of Ohio and play in their showcase. They took on then number 2 ranked Missouri State, and boy, was that a slobber knocker. 8-6 the final in that game, back and forth, both teams playing a very physical Midwest-style hockey, and at that point, Missouri State was ranked number 2. They got bumped down a couple notches because they ended up losing to that Central Michigan team, then ranked number 17 in the nation. So, seeing Central Michigan, they've done things like this before. They've gone into hostile barns. They've taken on some top-tier teams outside of Michigan, and they've had some success. We'll see how they do tomorrow. Again, Maryville at 5 p.m. on Friday, Missouri State 7 p.m. on Saturday, and at Sunday, a little bit of breakfast hockey, 11 a.m. against Drury. They're another team that plays at Brightspeed Ice Park. So 2 technically neutral site games, but really they're 2 road games against Drury and Missouri State. CCHN, at this point, we're still trying to figure out some logistics with Web Sports Radio. Web Sports Radio will definitely have all of the television broadcasts on their YouTube channel. Just look them up. That's Web Sports Radio. Steve Casson has been doing a great job for the last 18-plus seasons down at Missouri State. They run a wonderful broadcast down there. They will have you all the way on those games. I'll actually be on the call on Web Sports on Friday, but for Saturday and Sunday, we're still trying to figure out if we can do a simulcast on CCHN with a radio feed. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter feed for that. But again, 3 games next week. Central Michigan 5-7 on the season. But how about this? For the next 24 hours, it doesn't matter any other games that are played right now. Central Michigan is the undisputed number 1 team in the MCHC East.
It feels good to be on top.
Especially after the start that they've had this season. It'll be good to get it. It'll be good to look at the standings and see the maroon and gold atop alone. Before, of course, Michigan takes on Adrian. And if Michigan wins, they will then tie CMU tomorrow in the standings. That'll just about do it for our coverage here today. Before we head out, a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Saginaw beat Owen Sound earlier today, 6-2 at 4 p.m. And Red Wings right now currently down 1-0 to Buffalo at the first break of that game. And then a top 5 ACHA matchup, the Hope Dutchmen and Oakland Golden Grizzlies battling it out down at Griff's Ice House West in Holland, Michigan tonight. You can follow that game along their either team's Twitter account. They'll keep you updated throughout the contest. That game just getting underway about a half hour ago. This is a reminder that the broadcast of today's game was a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV. Speaking of MHTV, we'd like to thank them again for all the equipment they provide here for us. These broadcasts, as you experienced earlier today, are very boring without them. They provide the wireless mics that we use on these radio calls, and it would be a much different broadcast without them. Credit to Mark Hoover, who was supposed to be our camera guy today, but unfortunately our equipment decided it wasn't going to like us today, so he was down shooting video and stuff with Joe Grogan's social media. Brody, thanks for pushing the ones and twos for us. You were, again, supposed to be doing a little bit more intensive producing work today, but again, no video, less producing.
Yeah, well, technology is technology.
Indeed, technology is technology. And then one final thank you again, Tom Garavaglia with the Flint Hockey Network, a great source of information, as well as head coach Nick Karstens. It was great to talk to them. Coming up into this matchup, which has always been fun. And tonight, Central Michigan gets the better end of it. A 3-1 final. They sweep this weekend series, wins of 3-0 and 3-1 the last 2 days. Until next time, I'm Reagan Cleaves for Brody Finelli and everybody else here at CCHN saying so long from Martin Ice Arena as Central Michigan knocks off the Michigan Wolverines 3-1 and improves to 5-7-0. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful night, everybody.